Warm greetings from the high 10. This is live part two. I didn't have any intention of getting back on, but after listening to information from the interview room and talking to my mom, Miss Nancy from Oklahoma this evening, late evening, well, morning now, excuse me, I decided to jump back on because there's some things that Nancy had questions she had or theories she had. So I decided to, hello, honey, how are you doing? I decided to let this be a mod's night to bring forth her theory of what she believes happened to Summer Wells. And we will also chop up some of the information from the interview room that was mentioned tonight. Hello, GB. Uh, Conversations from Mr. Donald Wells, things that he said to Mr. Chris that are very suspect. The analyst's perspective on the things that Mr. Wells said. A lot of things that Mr. Wells said is very suspect, very redundant, very wishy-washy. And as they say, you're entitled to believe what you want pertaining to any state information by anybody. Everyone does not react the same, act the same. Uh, and that this is true. But I'm going to spin a story to you pertaining to a very real, true life story. And maybe perhaps that what I will tell you in this live will make you understand the dynamics of spinning a lie and continuing the saga of sexual assault against children. Hello, everybody in the chat. Thank you so much. Hello, 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 everybody. Um, Thank you so much for joining me. If you want to donate to the channel, $ Big Angie 129 Cash App. I want to thank all the new subscribers. I want to thank you all today. You put me at 7,400 subscribers. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so very kindly. 400 subscribers in over a month. God is good. Thank you so much. I'm going to check and see if this child is ready to come on. But so it's very disheartening listening to someone spin stories about a child, their relationship with a child. A lot of things that were said in that interview was very sickening. One can interpret things how they see fit, because what sounds suspect to one person, won't sound suspect to somebody else. But the relationship between Summer Wells and her father, one could deem it as salacious. One could believe that he has molested his child and children. It is also in my theory, and this is my theory before Nancy gets on, that Donald Wells was molested as a child himself. So people who molest as adults usually were molested as children. I think most of you know that. And I don't fault children for touching other children, because it is, as they say, it is a normal thing they'll say. But children are curious about their bodies. They'll touch their body parts. Babies will touch their little private parts and stuff. But it is up to the parent to say to the child, hey, you can't do that. Hey, you can't touch other children. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, you all understand what I'm saying. So you have to use discretion when you start seeing your child touching himself, herself, and now touching other children, because that's where it's going to lead until somebody says to the said child, this is not appropriate behavior. You cannot touch your sister, brother, playmate, whatsoever. So I do believe Donald Wells was possibly molested as a child. I wish Chris had asked him that, because right now you're really just talking in circles. You're letting a clown talk, then get mad, get angry, put up Facebook posts, go on. And see, to me, this is a grand setup. I mean, some of you are listening to these interview room conversation, but what you have to ask yourself in the end, who is benefiting from these interviews? Because I don't think it makes any sense to keep talking to Chris. For what reason? For what reason? Yeah, he's telling on himself. It's good for law enforcement, of course, because they're trying to solve a crime. They're trying to solve a crime, and alleged crime. So it's good for them, but it's not good for Donald Wells. It's not good for his wife, because in all, he is telling on himself. He's also, yes, throwing his wife under the bus by certain little things he's been saying. He's dooming himself. And as
Mhm.
I say, that is his choice to do that. But I don't see how he's benefiting from jumping on talking to Chris, then cussing the man out one day, then jumping back on talking to him again, then sending phone calls. See, this is a round and around circle with this Chris and Don show, because that's what it's become, the Chris and Don show. And somebody's going to get hurt. Because in the end, if you don't really want people discussing you, dissecting your conversation, your commentary, it's best that you be quiet and don't say anything. I do believe Don is a perp. I believe he has probably touched his children, all his children. I do believe that they will have the propensity to also touch other children if they don't seek help. I'm going to spin a story before I do the Q&A. There was a woman who had many brothers and sisters. And it was said by one of the sisters many years later, one of the younger sisters, that their older brother used to molest the girls when they were children. Now, mind you, one of the sisters had been brought forth allegations of that same brother that he had touched her younger child, girl child. And when the person went to the mother, she didn't say anything. And it was told to this lady, hey, your younger child is telling people that your brother has been touching her. And the mother never responded, ever, that is known to date. Now, what is wrong with this story? You knew that your brother had molested you and your sisters as children. So why in the world would you then let that same man come around your kids? It doesn't matter if they're boys, girls, it's all the same. This is a true story. This is not a made up story. I'm trying to help you understand the cycle of abuse and why child molestation continues today in our country. It's because people don't speak up, and they're afraid to speak up against their family members because people are still rallying for the perp. So then we go on to find out that the perpetrator has allegedly molested his own girl children. That was said in a conversation by an elderly person. Oh, did you hear that he also has been accused of molesting his girls? So once again, the cycle does not stop. And the said child who went around telling people that the uncle touched her, still till this day, upholds the uncle and talks about him as if he was a great person. So in your mind, you have to say to yourself, how is it that you don't remember this man touching you as a young child? Why are you still talking about this dog as if he was somebody great? He was not. And your mother played a part in allowing him to come around you, knowing he had molested her and her sisters. And yet you are now an adult and you still talk about this dog to this day. And I refuse to believe she does not know or remember that he used to touch her. And she's heard conversations as an adult that he's touched other females and his children. So there's no way she can't ever say she did not know he was a child molester and that he did touch her as well. He did make attempts to touch the older sister, who knew what type of person he was and avoided him at all costs. It was also said by the auntie to the older sister, this is what happened to us as children. Our brother did molest us as children, and we have heard the stories of him molesting other, said girls, blah, blah, blah. And your mother knew that he molested us. So I don't know why she would continue to let him come around you girls and children. That is a great question. Why did this lady allow this man to be around her three children, knowing he had molested her and her sisters as children? And then she was confronted about the younger child bringing forth allegations to the neighbors that the uncle was touching her, but the mother still continued to allow her brother around her children. The younger sister decides to also tell, which is the auntie, also decides to tell the person she's spinning the story to that I do believe he used to touch you too. Because there was a time when you came to visit, and when he reached for you, you screamed. Can you imagine the horror on that person's face when they heard the auntie say that? And then that said person, who is the niece, older niece, said, "Oh, I do remember an incident visiting family member's house where he was groping my body in a back room and tried to make numerous advances as I got older. But the older child never told the mother that he ever tried to touch her. But that older child did go to the mother to say, hey, younger child is telling people that he's been touching her." But the mother did nothing. I tell you this story because possibly that is what's going on here in the Wells situation. And this is going to continue if people keep turning a blind eye to child molestation. And one thing that some of you are not realizing is the stuff that's been said to you in the storyline that you are oblivious to. You see, some of you are rallying for the stepsister. She was abused as a child by Donald Wells. He's admitted this. But what you have failed to realize is how can she now spin a story that her child was molested by Donald Wells? Why would he be molesting my child knowing he molested me? Does that make any damn sense? It does not. So that means you're going to social media hooping and hollering about Donald Wells touching you from the ages of 5 to 12, and that he went off to jail, prison, and came back and touched you that night in your room. But you fail to realize or leave out that your parents have allotted Mr. Wells to continue to be around the family. So you see, they all obviously have aided Mr. Wells. Stay woke. Because whether he ran off that night thinking they were going to call the police, I don't even really know what's the truth to that. Because I kind of fell asleep on that, watching that tonight. Yeah, I kind of fall asleep. Queen gets tired. What is the truth pertaining to the family? Donald Wells. Because as I state, how is it that this stepsister can say that her child was also molested by Mr. Wells? Well, if he touched you, why would you allow him around your child or children? Stay woke. Stay woke. This is a mods Q&A this evening. Nancy has a theory of what happened to Summer Wells. I'm still on the fence of what all has happened with this child, but I always say that when you throw something out, you've got to finish it, and that's how I rock. So when Nancy brought forth this theory, I always make her chop it up, put it back together, and ask herself, does it make sense what you're thinking? So Nancy, what happened to Summer Wells?
I think Don had a plan to do away with her, basically. I think
Do what? Do what to her?
to get rid of her. I
Why?
think for nefarious reasons,
And those
basically.
reasons are,
Well, none of them are good.
you know I was gonna do this, so
I know. I know. I know you were. Uh, just sickening.
Did he sell Summer Wells?
I don't believe in my heart of hearts that he sold her for money, but I do believe that he just got rid of her. I believe that it just makes my stomach turn.
He pawned her, or he loaned her to
He,
someone for
he, di-
salacious reasons.
he didn't loan her because he didn't expect to get her back. He didn't loan her. Loaning her would mean that you would get her back.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
He did not loan her because he did not expect to get her back. He may have wanted to at one point, and
So he
maybe
sold her. So he sold, or he gave her away.
he gave
Who's
her
going to give a
away.
child away for free without getting something, considering these people are allegedly broke?
Well, that's true. That you got a point there, Angie. You do have a point. So maybe he did expect some kind of payment. Yes, maybe he did expect some kind of payment. Maybe it was for back. Maybe it was for a back bill. Maybe it was for a back something or other. Maybe it was for a back exchange or something. Uh,
So
but
tell me why you think this.
I think it's because it just makes me sick. Um, the girl, Summer Wells, was dressed in winter clothing. You do
Okay,
not dress.
that's been a topic of my conversation lately about the
Mhm.
clothes. So the clothes in your mind means what? Because I will say what I think after you say what you think.
Going away present.
Okay,
Going away clothing. You do
that's
not
what I
dress.
felt. Yes, I
You
think the
do not.
clothes were either to hide what happened to her and or
Mhm.
to hand her over to somebody, perhaps. Because I've never really thought that the child was handed over to anybody. But now that we keep bringing this subject up about the clothes were disguised for some reason. They were either to hide what was done to her in case somebody looked in the window, saw something suspicious, or they put her in these clothes to hand her off to the next person.
Exactly. Because sweltering heat in
So
Tennessee,
she could look nice. Let me say this, because the child never looked kempt.
appropriate.
So
Right.
new clothes 1 to 2 months before school starts is suspicious, unless the
Hmm.
store's going out of business. Then they're long sleeves and pants. So then we have to ask ourselves that you deliberately put those clothes in the car. Because then why would those clothes be in the car of the grandmother? Why would new clothes be in a car? And yes, you do have people who hoard stuff and they'll leave clothes and stuff in their car with, shopping bags, this and other. That's why I always say that when you throw something out, you got to make it make sense. So why would clothes be in the grandmother's car when that's not Candace's car?
Well, I always kept a change of clothing in the car for my children, but it was appropriate to the time of the
The
season.
season, you mean? Okay,
Yes.
so the clothes are out of season. So once again, why would these clothes be in the grandmother's car? That means you had to have deliberately put those clothes in the car that day, that morning, Candace Blind. So Candace Blind, I'm going to ask you, what plans did you have for Summer Wells on June 15th with that long jacket and pants? Did you deliberately put those clothes in a bag for salacious reasons, because you were going to hand your child off to somebody, you wanted her to look nice, or two, you had plans to get rid of her and you had to cover up however she looked after death, perhaps. Or you made it back to the house. I'm going to go here too. Number three, you made it
Yep.
back to the house and handed her to somebody, and allegedly that's where the dog scent left because you put her in a car or somebody picked her up, if we are to
Yep.
believe the scent story.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. I those two parents, I don't even want to call them that, but those two adults, if you want to address them as that, are complicit
Well, just
in
call
the
them donors.
disappearance.
They're just donors
Donors.
at this point.
They are complicit in the disappearance of Summer Moon Utah Wells.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
That poor little girl, for whatever nefarious reasons they had in their twisted, devilish mind, black heart, they are absolutely complicit in the disappearance of that
Okay.
child.
Okay. Well, as I
I
state, I do believe he knows what happened to her. I do believe
Yes,
he has given us hints with this interview room that he
yes,
knows what happens to Summer. They've had a sick relationship between donor and child. I do
yes,
believe some very uh, salacious things went on between the father and the child. I
yes,
do believe that Donald Wells was also molested as a child. I do believe he
yes,
is also a child molester
yes,
and has continued to touch children, his own children, perhaps
yes.
boys and the girls, if we're to believe whatever allegation stemming from a Walmart incident. I do believe he's been touching both children, so that means he fancies both boys and girls. And I think Chris should have asked that because I don't
Yeah,
see how you can leave that question out. You're going to talk about allegations of his past. You're going to talk about his past, what he has done, what he has gone and said about being arrested, this and that, admitting that he did touch the stepsister. Then allegations of the stepsister's child being molested. If that is accurate, then that only leaves one other question left. Donna Wells, have you touched your own child? Why not ask that?
yeah.
Have
Go
you
ahead
been
and
touching other children? Donald Wells. Chris, you forgot to ask that.
yeah. And if you listen, and I've been saying this
You're
from day
teetering.
one,
He's teetering. He's playing games
that
with Donald Wells.
yeah,
Mind
yeah,
game.
it's tiring. It's absolutely
Yes, yes.
tiring.
It's a mind game. No
Hmm.
disrespect to you, Chris, but it's a mind game because, frankly, that's the question that should have came up after he admitted he touched the stepsister and whatever happened with the daughter. I don't know if he admitted to touching her daughter or not. Because, like I said, I don't listen to this information. I just can't do it. But if I'm to
Hmm.
believe this happened with the stepsister and her child, that means the stepsister allowed a pedophile to be around her child, which is wrong. And now you're coming forward to social media whining and crying about you was molested by Don. Well, how the hell your child get molested by him? See, you left that part out.
Yeah,
And that means
yeah.
the family has been complicit in knowing that Don is a child molester and allowing him to be in the company of them and other children. Stay woke.
Yes, it's a complete cover up all the way around. It's a vicious
So
circle.
then the interview room should have asked him, are you a current child molester?
Exactly. And everything points to nefarious issues that he has done with his own
April,
daughter.
don't come in here with that.
I'm sorry. Everything points to terrible, terrible signs that he has done with his own daughter. I'm sorry. I'm just going to put it
My
out
thing
there.
is this: if you're going to ask one thing about a person's disposition, you might as well ask what they're doing currently. Why would you not ask?
That's right. Why would you not?
If you been touching your kids? You think the people in the chat are not curious? If you're going to admit that you touched a child, why would I not think you haven't been touching your child? I
Past
understand about
behavior,
somebody needs to remain neutral. I'm not a dodo bird.
past behavior predicts future behavior. It is evident. It's proven. It's proven. It's scientifically proven. You can ask any counselor. It's the same. They'll tell you the same thing.
Night out, thank you. No question should be off limits. Yeah, but you're going to pick and choose what to ask as not to rock the boat. Well, that makes no sense because you've already rocked the boat with the man. He's already cussed you out on Facebook.
He keeps telling everything.
So what difference do it matter about what questions you ask? He's already been offended. Thank you, Sue.
That's right. That's right.
Thank you. Sue said it best. He's dancing with the devil. Amen.
Yeah, he's right. He's two-stepping with him right along. In fact, he's teaching him how to dance. My opinion. He's vile.
See,
He's
you
so
want to go in
vile.
the belly of the beast, but I don't even think I have to say it. You're picking and choosing what vows you want to pull out of the beast.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. That man did something. He did something. He set something up. I think he set it all in motion. He set it all in motion. And I'm sorry. Why would you pull? I'm going to go there. Why would you pull your child out? Like we were talking.
Yes, we were talking. This is my comment here. Why did Don take that child out to Utah during school season last fall? School was in session in Tennessee, East Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
So why would that child be taken out to
Mm-hmm.
Utah? I do not believe he went out there to look for a house. I don't think he was selling his house here in Rogersville, Tennessee. I think something jumped off between him and Candace, and he chose the child that he wanted to take to Utah. Why that child? Stay woke.
Same one that was in the interview that was he had clutching to the side of his,
Yes,
body.
same child that he's holding shoulder to shoulder in the news interviews. Why that? Why are you holding this child so close in the interviews? Really, it's not even appropriate for you to even have a child standing there in the hot summer heat while you are conducting a news interview. My opinion.
Yep. There's just something seriously sinister and wrong about this man. Very wrong.
Well, one, he's a deflector. He makes,
Yes.
like as the analyst said, he makes excuses for everything.
Yeah, he
And
puts the
that's
blame on
just who
everybody
he is.
else.
Yes, he's as I stated in my previous commentary, he likes to blame others for his faults and mishaps in life. Everybody is to blame for everything that happened.
Yes.
Mama, daddy, cousin, wife, stepsister, this. They wanted money. They want my daddy's money.
The
Everything's a
dogs.
deflection from the subject at hand, which is Donald Wells.
Yes. Yes, 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 and yes.
Sad.
He set this all in motion. I'm sorry. This is the way I feel. He
Yes, I
set
do
this
believe he
in
knows what
motion.
happened to Summer Wells. That I believe, because we do not have any confirmation of who he took to work with him that day, if he left for work, timestamps of a job. We don't know anything.
No, we don't.
Who drove what car? We don't know anything.
No, no. I, mm, I just have a very sick feeling in my pit of my stomach. And if you go back and you listen to everything this man has said in interviews, he tells you, I've said this from day one, he's telling you everything without telling you. I've repeated this
Without
more
that.
than one time.
Yes, indeed, indeed,
He is a
indeed.
vile, vile man. Vile man. And
Who's this calling me?
and he is.
Honey, I don't want to be bothered. Stop calling my phone. I guess somebody on the live watching my live. I'm not answering no
I,
telephone.
I
I'm gonna
guess
stop
so.
what I'm stopping what I'm doing. I kind of think that Chris is playing the same game that Don is, only Chris is much smarter. So I hope Don gets caught up in his own web. Oh, what a tangle web we weave when at first we tried yes, to deceive. That's true.
Yeah.
Like I said, I understand his his
Mhm.
uh his his thing, because he has a channel. I get all that. But see, what you all don't seem to understand is you have to pay attention to everything that's being said at that time.
Mhm.
You have to watch everything that's being said to you. Donald is telling you he knows what happened to Summer. He's
Mhm.
using his wife, throwing her under the bus at
Mhm.
the same time. He knows what happened to the child.
Mhm.
If you really listen to the things that he's been saying in this interview room, he's telling you he knows the stuff
Yep.
about the dream. I believe she was somewhere well off. That's what made me think, well, hell, maybe he did hand her off or sell her to somebody. But as I told you, the flip side of that is if he sold her, pawned her, loaned her, who's going to be seen? You will never be able to be seen with her. Then that means you'd have to have taken her for salacious reasons, which
That's
means
right.
9 times out of 10, you would discard her. We
That's
do not have
right.
to go into details about that.
That's right. She's going to become what they would consider a hot item.
Well, she would be a hot item.
Yep.
And then the flip side of that is also, why would I then go report her missing if I sold her, if I pawned her off, if I loaned her? Because if I
Mm-hmm.
sold her to you, that means, and you were allegedly a decent family, you're going to want to walk around with your daughter. How's that going to work? Somebody sees her in New York at the mall and she's missing in Tennessee.
Exactly.
So then now these people are going to have to explain what the hell they're doing walking around with this blonde haired, blue eyed girl that has an Amber Alert out in Tennessee. So the other alternative is you pawned her, sold her for salacious reasons, which we already know what that means.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Thank you for joining me. This is Everyday Shenanigans.
Yeah. He's vile.
Yeah, he's fine.
And then to just it be about me, it's all about Don. It's all about him. It's all about him. His
What about
reputation.
Robin? That's another video I'd like to do. I don't know if I want to add that into this live or not. That is also an issue that needs to be addressed. The church now. We can talk about the church now.
Oh, yeah, that's a deep subject.
I don't know. So
The thoughts on that one?
yeah, I am
After.
wondering what does the church think of Donald Wells and Candace Bly now?
Mm-hmm.
Because imagine now him walking into church and you now know all about the child molestation allegations against the sister and her child, his criminal background, drinking, drug usage, selling somebody's stuff out of their house. I mean, when he told all that to Chris, I thought, well, hell, you might as well just move in his house and pretended to be him.
Yep.
You steal a whole car and unload everything in the car and didn't think you would get caught. I mean, like I said, we're not talking about stealing socks and shoes out of Walmart. Same.
I mean, let
Night
alone.
Owl says she wished they would stop recording the prayer videos. Why, Night Owl? Why? Yes. Only a few people showed up for the last prayer vigil. Why was that? Very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
They live in near the Tri-Cities area, so there should have been more people showing up to all the vigils, quite frankly.
Exactly. I think, honestly, the last prayer vigil, if you think about it, people, that was after Don Wells admitted to.
But don't blame the church because the church don't have anything to do with who Donald Wells is as a person. Donald Wells was corrupt before he ever became affiliated with the church. As the church said, he is not a member of the church. He's been going to the church 1 year, so we cannot say the church is crooked or in cahoots with anything. We do not know these people, and I'm not carrying that bone on my channel.
No.
All I'm saying is, what do they think of him now? That's my only question.
Yes. And
as Night Owl said, she can't see them having a lawyer. Exactly, because by now, wouldn't your lawyer tell you to shut up?
It's, damage is done. I mean, usually that is taking place prior to spewing. Now you've already spewed so much, it's hard to cap an oil well.
She wasn't alone. There was 3 other people there with Candace. Make that clear. There were 3 other people standing outside with her at that last prayer vigil last week.
Well,
it just wasn't a big crowd from what was shown.
And and it makes you wonder. That's a big difference compared to the run prior to that, and it makes you stop and think. That is, if I'm not mistaken, that would be after Don's conversation rightly came out. The last one was right when it came out, when he was there, and then this one would be the next one. It's just vile.
Night Owl says the prayer vigil for summer, it should be a private moment, not public, knowing people are watching it. Then they focus on the egg donor and sperm donor. Exactly, that's true.
It should be a
Very
prayer vigil for summer. You're exactly right, Night Owl. For summer.
well, when there's a prayer vigil, it's expected that people come out in the community. That kind of defeats the purpose of a prayer vigil, and
Right.
not be public people coming because other people are concerned about the child. So that's what they want is for people to gather together, to pray for the child. But I understand what you're saying due to the fact that these people have such a uh, negative past, and there's lots of gossip about them, that perhaps there should be a private prayer circle, I guess.
I believe it. That'd probably be best.
Mama says their church pastor hasn't showed up to the vigil since the first week. Do you think that pastor knows something? Well, it's not even a matter of him knowing something. It's a matter of what I didn't pay attention to and care to speak of, such as just the child herself, her behavior in church. You all allowed that to go on in the church, her running around, jumping around the pulpit. We don't do that in black churches. No offense against anybody white. We don't do that. I can't see it going on in the white church. I don't.
No.
And I've
No,
been in
ma'am.
white churches before, and I've never, I've been
No,
in church
ma'am.
where it's been predominantly white, and I've never seen that go on. Ever.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
I've never seen that.
No, ma'am.
Because frankly, it's sacred up there by the pulpit,
Yes,
in
ma'am.
my
That's
opinion.
a holy
So
place.
there's nothing wrong with the children sitting on the step as the person wants to spin the story, but to be jumping around. See, Candace need her tail beat for allowing that to go on.
Yes. Yes.
I don't know about the man at the funeral home.
Yes. That's a holy place up there. It's a sacred place.
The red truck. Well, my source tells me the red truck doesn't have anything to do with summer. I told you all that a week ago. Yes, publicity and social media. Well, but this is what they want, so this is what they're giving you.
That's right. They put it out there. Well,
Because
you
no
have
decent
Dawn.
person will continue to keep talking on social media and doing interviews with the interview room and the other lady. I wouldn't do that. I just
Yeah.
wouldn't keep talking to people because you got to understand that if indeed you are guilty, you're setting yourself up to be caught
All of
because
the
you won't shut up.
I'm not going to name other YT channels, but all the other channels that Don has been on and done these interviews with, and he's done plenty of them out there as of lately,
Yes, yes,
you can
yes,
better believe it.
yeah.
If this goes to trial, those will come into question, people. Those
Yes.
will be admitted as evidence.
It's going to be if we even get to find the child.
That's right. That's why I said
First
if
of
it
all,
goes to trial.
uh, it's going to be a holy mess. And as I say,
It
this Allie
is.
person has really doomed herself because I believe she's next in line not to
Yep.
be having custody of her children. You started all this with your big mouth. And yes, we know the truth will make its way out one way or the other because people are going to dig, 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 dig. People stay on social media all damn day looking for stuff, chasing Facebook names and friend of friends and stuff. That's to be expected. But I will admit, this case is about as grimy as Cal City. It's gotten out of control. But these people are allowing it to get out of control because they won't stop talking. So you're asking for yourself to be judged because you won't shut up. You can't judge people for talking about you when you're giving them something to talk about. That makes no logical sense.
It's
Sly says they believe she was sold.
I'm sorry.
Someone in the chat says she was sold.
Hmm. But it's hard to put a cap on an oil field or an oil, spout that's spewing so much oil. Black
It's a
gold.
hole. It's a hole in the pipe.
That's right. Black gold, Texas tea, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, it's a sad tragedy because in the end, it doesn't really matter
No,
what you think,
doesn't.
don't think. 9 times out of 10, the child is probably deceased, and it's a wicked story. And even if she was handed off to somebody who don't have any information to that fact, and you don't have information that would say they have her for good reasons.
Yep.
So either way, it's grim.
It's very grim.
Because no decent person will walk around holding on to a child knowing she's been classified as abducted and or missing. The right thing would be to call law officials and say, I have the child. You definitely gonna have to make up some type of reason how you came to have Summer Wells in your possession.
That's right. That's right. It's 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 absolutely horrific.
They don't care about that.
And
And as I state, two people who never knew each other with
yeah,
custody issues, DHS has taken away children out of both Don's custody and Candace's custody before they even met. And then they
yeah,
linked up together, had children, and now the same thing has happened to them. You don't find that ironic?
yeah,
Hello,
yeah,
Crystal. How you doing?
yeah. Isn't that what kind of stars aligned for that matchup?
And it's sick because now we have to ask ourselves, what did Candace know about Donald Wells before marriage? Did she know that he had issues of being accused of child molestation by his family members? Did she also know about his criminal background? And got with him anyway. Or they possibly didn't know where her body is. I don't believe she's alive, but there may be a small chance that she was sold. Could be. My better half is telling me that she's no longer living. But who knows? There's always be that small chance that she was sold, but that still doesn't mean that she was sold, that she's even alive from being sold. Because
Mm-mm.
what decent human is going to buy a child and walk around and try to raise her? It would be very hard to do considering she's on the news broadcast. You'd have to leave her in the house morning, noon, and night.
This is dark, people. Real, real dark.
Why are y'all worrying about that damn shed? I don't get it. Jesus, what is the deal with the shed?
Those are small details that, you know, yeah, I understand they're details, but the bigger issue is this child is gone.
You already know that they searched the property, you guys. Come on now, let up off the stuff in the property. You
This
already
child
know
is
they searched the
gone.
property.
And this man had something to do with it. He set it up.
It's got a sick. His conversation about Summer, their relationship is also very suspect. The love I never had. And that means you're basically saying your wife didn't love you, your other boys didn't love you, your other family members didn't
Exactly.
love you, your other children never loved you. Only Summer Wells loved Donald Wells. You don't find that a disturbing comment?
Right. And the type of
Very, very, very
description,
suspicious comment.
right. And the type of description that he puts on the type of love that he had is not the type of love that you
Well,
have.
Gina, we don't know if Candace has proof of knew at the time that he molested his family members. See, that's the thing. Who's going to admit that? Go ahead.
The type of love that he describes with his 5-year-old child is more of an adult type of love. It's not the type of love that you have with a said child. It's disgusting. In his mind, it's not healthy. It's not the right type of.
Well, where would the freezer be, Sue? So that means you got to say that the child was buried somewhere else. So who's going to let you put something in their freezer? Not question. You know how big a child is? 40 pounds. Pretty big. He was fascinated with Summer, but didn't care for the boys. I can't say that, not Al. I don't know. He was fascinated enough to take his oldest son to Utah.
Well,
Well, he may not, but once again, as I state,
I still go back to the
he carried
fact
that
that
boy to Utah during school hours. Y'all need to focus on that.
hmm
I tell you, everything's in the details.
took him out of
Why would you be
school.
taking the child across the country during school season?
Took him out of school.
So
Why?
now we have to talk about the school. What did the school say about the child being gone? What reason did he give the school for the child being gone? Or were their children homeschooled? So you have to ask those types of questions. You can't believe everything that you hear. Oh, I went out there because I'm going to sell my house. I went to Utah to look for a house. I got to Utah and I didn't realize how high the houses were. Hell, it ain't nothing in Utah. How high could the houses damn be? I said that.
I
And
was
I
going
could be
out there
wrong,
to
but
look
I'm
for a
just
better
saying, ain't
job.
nothing in Utah.
Yeah,
Nothing.
because he was. Yeah, because he came out of his own mouth. I'm gonna
Jesus.
go. I'm moving my family to Utah. Okay. What, to go be around other family?
Well, Sue, he's talking about like outside in the wilderness, like the trunk he passed when he was doing the tour of the property on the dog trail. The stump had a big hole in it. Well, she's a small child. Yes, she could have easily crawled in a hole to hide. Talking about like outside. You could be outside right now hidden and nobody would even know you're standing there and you'd be in plain sight because the woods are dense.
The baby is not anywhere around that house. I'm
No, I don't know
sorry.
why y'all keep saying that.
I feel it in my spirit. That baby's not anywhere around that house.
No. That's the first place they're going to go look when you report your child missing, your house, your property.
Mm-mm. I mean, if for any reason I'm wrong, I'll be the first one to pop up here and tell you I'm wrong. I'll apologize, but I, I
She's not on
just,
that property.
she's not on that property. I feel it in my spirit. She's not on that property.
Why would I keep her on the property and I'm reporting her missing? Does that make any sense? Come
Mm-mm.
on, y'all got to do better.
Mm-mm. She's not on that property. He set this up. He had this in play. He got this going. Mm-mm. He got this going. He set this up. He got this going. He made the contacts. He whatever.
Well,
I'm not sure how Candace fits into this, but she's aware of it. She is aware of it.
well, in the beginning, it seemed like she was the orchestrator with all this
Yeah,
swimming hole mess and milk cartons, and everybody starting the rumors about a child being deceased in the back seat and why she leaned up against a carton. Wouldn't she wake up? This and that. I don't know. I don't know the child.
I don't
But
know
something
either.
was said about her last night that struck me odd, and I got to remember what it was. Uh,
Well, she was kind of out of it. She was really out of it and missing for a couple of weeks. Remember that? Nobody
no.
heard from her. Nobody saw her.
Who are you talking about?
Candace, remember?
No. No, what I'm trying to say, I'm trying to say not Candace, I'm talking about the child. Summer.
Oh,
Something was said about Summer in one of the videos, and I can't remember what it was, but it was something important. I'm trying to jog my memory. So much has been said you can't keep up. You have to actually take notes with all this crazy nonsense.
I know there's so much that's said.
Air Force is talking about a body being found, not determined if the bones are male or female in race. It may have changed since I last saw the news report. Okay. Mama says they're both aware of the child. Why did they move the shack? I don't know what the shack's relevance is. I don't know why everybody's so concerned about the shack. Now, the guy on the interview room made a comment that he thinks something about the shack only because he mentions the shack, Mr. Wells. I don't know. See, you don't know because you don't know these people. It could be
I know
nothing.
why. I know why everybody's talking about the shack, Angie. Because when he went home, that
Yeah,
was the
okay. He
first
went
place
down
he
there because
went
the
to.
boys were allegedly
hmm
standing there. But who's to say why
hmm
the boys were there? You don't know what was going on before you got there.
And I know I
They could have
have a
been
feeling.
pulling stuff out of the shack.
I know why, because I have a feeling I know why is because when he left that area, everybody questions Why wouldn't you take your boys with you at that time if there's supposedly your child is missing and there's supposedly, quote unquote, somebody crazy running around? It's you've already got one child missing. Why wouldn't you take your other children with you at that time instead of just leaving them there and then you going on up to your house?
What you talking
That's
about when she went
probably.
looking for the child?
I'm sorry.
I don't understand what you're saying.
Well, when he first got home, supposedly, he first place he went to was that shack. He
Yeah.
did not go on up to his house, and his
Okay.
children were down at that shack.
Well, maybe
Well,
that's why he went down there because he saw his kids down there.
well, could be, but
Yeah,
instead of
because you got to
taking,
think about it logically. Why would I bypass my
Mhm.
kids?
And
He's
then,
basically saying he should have ignored his children standing at
but
the
why?
shack. No, he wouldn't have done
Right.
that.
But why wouldn't he go ahead and take his kids at that time instead of leaving them there when you're supposedly got a missing
So
kid?
what are you saying? He went to the shack and then drove up to the house?
Yes, but he left
But
his
weren't there a
kids
lot of
down there.
people already standing outside? It said there was a
See,
lot of people already down there.
supposedly. See, I'm not sure that, but I thought that maybe that's why everybody keeps mentioning the shack. I don't know.
Gina, stop that. Well, if they was messing with a body, then the body would be found and we wouldn't be talking about nothing.
The body's not going to be around there. That little girl's not around there. She's not
She's
around there.
nowhere near. She's nowhere near that property. Come on now.
Nope, she is
You have to
not
know
near the
that.
property. No, she's not near that property.
Well, Gina said right. I thought the boys were at work with him. Right.
Exactly.
So now you know that they weren't. So now you can stop spreading that rumor that the children went to work. We can end that rumor now. If he's saying the boys was at the shed, then that means he couldn't have came home and the boys were already at the shed. Ding! Thank you. One rumor dispelled.
Mhm.
So we can scratch that one off the rumor mill.
Mhm. Yeah, because he said the boys were down at the shed. And his first thing he did is he pulled in, and the boy, and that's even on.
Mama Bell, how you know it was only one room, one person at the shed? See, this is what I think is interesting about your comments. You all are going by what Donald Wells and Candace Block said. You
That
don't
was on.
have confirmation from law enforcement. That's what the sheriff told you. If you didn't hear it from me,
That's right. That was
he's the
from
same
Donald
person that
Wells.
told you she passed the lie detector test, and the man just told you last week everybody's still a suspect. Come on, y'all. Y'all have to do better than this. Jesus Christ.
Yes. So even though we thought that rumor could be dispelled, it may still be a rumor yet because that came from Donald Wells himself in the conversation on the interview room. So it still could be a rumor
Well,
that
my
the
thing
boys
is
were
this.
down at the shed.
I'm going to go with what law enforcement said. And he didn't just told you. If you
Everybody's
did
still
not
suspect.
hear it from me,
Mm-hmm.
then it's not true.
It still
So you
could
all
be
just keep spreading
anything.
stuff about somebody was at the shed, he was at the shed, mom was at the shed, Poopy was at the shed. There was a truck at the end of the drive. The drive had a latch on it. You don't know nothing about June 15th. And I'm not trying to be rude, but this is the reason why you got all these rumors that started to mess about the little girl in the back seat. It took one person to look at a photograph and say, "Oh, she's dead." But we ain't gonna know her because we ain't even got a body. Shit, they know what they was doing on June 15th. They made sure to get her gone. So it didn't matter about the picture. The picture could have been a roof. The picture could have been a setup to make it look like she was alive. Stay woke. I got rid of her so you won't find her body. So keep guessing about Summer Wells. That's what they tell you. Keep making up stuff. Keep trying to put it together. You're wasting your time. I got her ducked off. Just like the Cal City boys. I got him ducked off. You ain't gonna never.
I told Angie earlier, it's like having a puzzle and trying to put puzzle pieces in said puzzle from another puzzle. It ain't gonna fit. It's not gonna fit.
Uh,
Pieces aren't gonna fit.
I see where this is going.
But what we do have is we
Yeah,
have.
I got an infiltrator in here, so I'm getting ready to handle your ass because I'm probably push you out.
Oh,
Sounds stupid. Yeah. I know Summer Wells ain't been found. I know that much. How about that?
that's exactly right.
And I'm
She's
going to
not.
follow what the police say. If you didn't hear it from us, then you don't know what happened June 15th.
Nope.
And that is the spoken word. We don't know what happened June 15th. You can talk
Nope.
about this till you blue in the face. Don't nobody know what happened June 15th except for the
Nope.
people person that got her gun.
That's right. And everybody's a suspect. Period. Period. What we do know, she had on long jacket, long
Hold
pants
on. Let me handle this.
in the middle of the summer.
Well, since you know what happened, why don't you tell us where Summer Wells is?
We're listening.
Since the police don't know nothing.
We're ears. We're all ears. I'm sure. These are just my opinions, but
Well, it can't be the focus can't be on Summer Wells because you got too many people that's jumping through hula hoops wanting to be seen. So there you
yeah,
have it. So once you got people that want 5 minutes of fame, the story's going to always be about the people that want to be seen, not the person that's missing or not the person that's deceased.
that's right. This poor little girl, her name has gotten forgotten in all this hooping and hollering and Hollerville and circus and too worried about my, you know, who gives a holy crap about your past? At this
Yeah.
point, I'd be crying about my missing child. You knew it was going to come out.
Nancy Pryor says, I'm praying Candace Braxton tells the truth, but the boys tell the truth. And that's another thing that was said in that commentary on the interview room about when he asked him about the boys. What do you think he told the police? He said, what he said, the truth. I'm sure they told the truth, the whole truth. I said, Donald, if
Yeah,
you don't quit talking, please. So they
exactly.
believe he coerced the boys before law enforcement came.
Hmm.
But then that don't make no sense because Donald wasn't there. So how could he tell the boys what to say? He wasn't there until later. By then he wouldn't have had time to tell the boys, say this, say this. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, he has absolutely no idea what those
He wouldn't
boys
have had much. He
said
wouldn't have
now.
had time to tell the boys what to say because naturally, if the police were on scene, they would have been watching him talking to his children. Perhaps maybe that's what he went and said to him when he went over to the shed. See, I don't know. That would have been his only opportunity, probably, to tell the boys what to say. You have to
And,
stay woke on everything that's been said to you.
the boys have been away now for a little bit, so
Mhm.
and I'm sure that they're very good at what they do,
Yes, Phaedra, I agree.
and they have very good counseling and very good people that work with children,
Yes, yes, yes.
and so you know I'm sure they've talked to them, and
Yes,
I'm
yes,
sure they've worked with them. So
yes.
they don't have any idea what those children have told them, and I'm
I don't
sure
know,
they're.
Gina. I think the statute of limitations, there are no statute of limitations for sexual assault in Utah, so he can be
Nope,
charged, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so.
Mhm. That was mentioned probably a week or two ago. Don coached the boys to tell same story as him and Candace, same lies. Well, we got to remember
Doesn't
something. As I
matter.
just said, when would he have had time to coach them?
But that's all mute
Because then
now.
that means if he wasn't able to really talk to them day one, anything they said day one will be different than day two and three.
But you have to think, don't you think those children feel safe now? Come
Thank you,
on.
Miss D. Thank you, Miss Deals. Thank you, sweetheart. AB. Okay, thank you. Thank you
I'm
all. Thank you.
I'm
Okay, AB.
sure,
AB, I'm gonna have to have a little chit chat with you.
I think those children feel safe now. And I think that, you
Well,
know, come
look,
on
let me
now.
tell you something. And I'm trying to listen to what that analyst said on the interview. If we put out positive things will come back to.
Yes.
I agree with that only to a certain degree. If you're in a negative environment and you're seeing negativity all day, the people you live with are negative. You go outside the door, what would you have? I'm not saying that you can't have a positive attitude, but don't you think it would be a little bit hard to have a positive disposition if you're around negativity every day,
Yeah.
every waking day? Something negative is going on. It would be very, very hard.
Be depressing.
Y'all sure got a lot of folks falling over from AB. Okay, now y'all, I'm starting to worry what the hell's
So that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Don't you think that those boys have been handled with kid gloves and those people
Thank you
know
for
what they're
joining me.
doing? Those people
Well,
know what they're
let's
doing.
answer this question because y'all gonna bore me to death about that damn shed. Did he say something to the children at the shed? That's why he went to the shed. So you don't know.
Wouldn't you like to be a mouse in there?
That's what you want to be as a mouse. Damn right. Because we don't know what the hell. Damn, I jumped to 217 that quick. It was just 80
Woo-hoo!
some people in the room. Thank you all. Thank you all for coming over. Honey, grab your popcorn and your wine. If you don't drink, get you some lemonade. Lord,
Where are
Jesus.
they coming from?
AB said,
Oh,
thank you.
that's what I'm saying. We don't know. We
We
have no
don't.
idea.
That's why I
That
don't want to say what happened because I can't ever say what happened to someone else. But
no.
I will say, uh, him talking to Chris is doomed. He is doomed.
Right. Man is dirty. Man is
And
dirty
I
and
don't care
vile.
what anybody thinks about what I say about child molestation. You are not exempt because you were molested and you allow your child to now hang around your molester. How is that right and make any logical sense?
No.
Now, don't do that. Don't do
It's sad. It's very
that. Julie
sad.
said, look out for Don. Well, Don might be in here.
Don, if you're in here, you're a vile human being.
Well, Don doesn't think that. Don said, I got work to do. And you are look, they already got rumors out that he's messing with a 17-year-old. I said, y'all be shaming yourself, Lord. Please leave it alone.
Don, you vile. You vile. You vile.
Oh, she said nasty buzzard. I ain't heard that word since Chicago as a
You
kid.
buzzard.
A property manager said that about one of her children one day. We was in her apartment. She said, you little nasty buzzard. Because you know she's a Jehovah Witness. They didn't curse. Thank you, honey. Thank you for the super chat. God bless you.
Just
Yeah.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you, I'm telling you, I'm telling you, in my spirit, this man set something up. He had something in the
Well, since
works.
I got so many people coming in here from other places, would you all give an opinion and hit the link, or you want to sit here and chat all day? Because y'all love to chat. Y'all the chat folks like
Y'all
to
come on up.
They
You
won't
come
come
on
up.
up.
They won't come
I
up. Thank you all. Thank you all so much for joining me. Thank you. God bless you. So
I
what are
know
we trying to say? The baby was sold. I'm on the fence. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I honestly believe she's deceased, but I have a problem with the clothes. That is something that's been weighing on me. And my discerning spirit tells me the clothes is relevant to
yeah.
the disappearance of someone else. Something about the clothes.
Mm-hmm.
There's just something about the clothes. Thank you, Terry. Thanks for subscribing. Thank you all so much. Yeah, there's something going on with the clothes. Because one
Mm-hmm.
thing that you all have not addressed that has been, you all been chatting for 8 weeks now. You've never said to yourself, Well, if she's got the jacket and the pants in the car, in a car that does not belong to her, where is the drying towel? Stay woke.
That's right. They just came from
Where
water.
are the fishing poles? Stay woke.
It just came from
Yeah.
water. We're talking
Okay.
about Tennessee, people. It's hot.
Let me Nancy, drop the link.
Drop the link
I'll send you the link. Drop it. Yes.
from in,
Burial clothes, indeed.
from in here.
That's what I'm saying about the clothes. They're either burial clothes or they were clothes to hand her off to somebody else clean. I want a clean kid. I want a clean looking kid. Hi, you from Tennessee? What part of Tennessee you from, Kelly? Thank you, Uprising. Thank you all for following in to the chat. 292. Well, thank you so kindly.
Okay. How do I drop the link from in here?
Oh, Lord. Wait, you been putting it in there. What you mean? How you been putting it in?
I've never done it like that. I'm sorry.
Well, drop down and put it down in there.
Okay. Bye
Well,
bye.
I got all these new people following in. I'm almost at 300 people in the chat. Would you all
Oh
like
my
to join the
goodness.
live stream?
Oh my goodness. Hallelujah.
Franklin,
Okay.
Tennessee. Well, thank you, darling. Thank you.
Oh,
I got
all
Cooper,
right.
Tennessee in the house. Thank you.
Oh,
Woo. Kingsport. Hello from Canada. Oh, I love a good Canadian.
okay. All right. Here we go. All
Honey,
right.
hey, once the Queen went to Toronto, she never been the same.
All right. All
Because
right.
I
Here I
told you all
go.
about that story. That was a wicked story. We ain't gonna talk about that. We'll say that for another live. But anyway, I had a very interesting trip, many moons. It was right after 9/11 when I went to Toronto. It's February 2. Marable, woo, Sandra Summers. We're gonna have to meet for tea, darling. We're gonna have to meet since you're so close by. Chicago, hello, my home. Arizona, thank you. I will admit to you guys, I will be I will be traveling probably in the next week. Michigan, how you doing? Great sand dunes, Michigan. I'll probably be traveling around the country in another week. So Tennessee, I'll be hollering at you. Once again, the Queen will be back on the road. Thank you all. Okay, Mr. AD, thank you for sending the people over. New York, yes, nothing like a New Yorker. Georgia, yeah, that's where I want to be. Fresno, California, thank you. That's where my people are from. Fresno, thank you, Francis. Thank you. Connecticut, Indiana. Oh, you all are making me want to cry now. Maryland, thank you. That's where Air Force is, Maryland. Thank you, Connecticut. Oh, Orland Park, thank you. North Carolina, thank you. Okay. I said since the first day it was an accident and they hit her because of the ongoing. Hold on a minute, baby. Let me pull you back up. The ongoing essay looking more like it's possible. Okay, let me address this for the last time. Do not get offended. I want you all to think. I'm a critical thinker. So you're new to the chat. I'm a little rough around the edges, so I'm going to tell you that now. You can continue to listen or not. It's up to you. When you say something, I want you to think about what you're saying. I want you to say to yourself, does this make sense to me? And if I repeat it to somebody else, will it make sense to them? So what I tell you to do is when you think of anything with true crime, repeat it to yourself out loud, and then go repeat it to somebody else. Thank you all for coming over. Thank you so much. Repeat it to somebody else and say, hey, I want to run this by you. Does this sound like this makes any sense to you? And then you wait to see, oh, thank you, Rockaway, thank you. See if it makes any sense to somebody else. Because this is a wicked story, and nothing about the story makes any sense. Period. 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 Did you drop the link, babe? Hit the link. You want to tell me about my mod's question. Did Donna Wells sell Summer? Are those clothes her getaway clothes? That means disposal or sold. Which is it? Hit the link. Thank you, Donna. Yes, 1100. I see. Yes, you all stay very busy. Thank you all so much for joining. He's a predator. Okay. Thank you for the super chat. God bless all of you. I got 330 in the room. Lord have mercy. God is good. Well, hit the link. Show your face. Tell us what you think. So, what she sold. Are we not talking about a deceased child? Are we not talking possibly about a soul child? I do believe that she's not alive, but as I state, I could be wrong because I don't know. But it's something about the clothes that's weighing on my spirit. And my spirit is telling me the clothes play an integral part to the disappearance of Summer Wells. Those clothes mean something. Because in the commentary from Candace, you never hear her mention that there was a drying towel, excuse me. She never said, oh, by the way, when we got out of the water, dried off. Don't you find that strange? That's why I tell you to always listen to what's being said to you. Chop up every word that's being said to you. Thank you all for joining. Accident followed by a cover up. Burial clothes. Yes. Possibly so, road less travel. Possibly so. Hello, I'm no thanks. Thank you all for joining me. Accident. Hit the link. Tell me what you think. 322 people. There should be at least 5 or 6 people. I don't want to read your questions all night. Come on, y'all. What's the baby sold? And as I stated in my commentary earlier, which somebody got offended by, if you're going to ask Donald questions about child molestation, messing with the sister, the daughter, that woman has to also take responsibility for allowing her child to be around a child molester. You know, I don't condone no one being touched by another child and or a grown-up. But what you have to say to yourself is, if somebody touched you as a child, teenager, why in the world would you then allow that same person to be around your children? Come on now. We're not going to shuck the job around here. We're not going to shuck the job around here. I'm shy somebody else hit the link. Okay, I'll be damned. Oh, Lordy.
Hey.
Samantha, where are you
Hey,
from?
I'm from Tennessee.
What part of Tennessee?
I live in Lenoir City, Tennessee. I'm not sure how far I am from.
I know where Lenoir City is, girl.
Yeah, that's where I'm from.
I know,
and I'm
honey.
like
I can ride a bicycle over there right now.
Could you really? Are you in Tennessee?
Honey, don't you hear the accent, girl?
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm like you. I'm confused. I've went.
Okay.
I don't know.
Before you start, just answer the question to the title. So or not?
Yes. Yes. I do believe
To
she
who?
was sold.
To
I
who?
believe Dawn has sold her to either pay a debt for his drugs, or maybe even traded her for drugs.
Okay. I did mention that ponder loan.
Yes.
Okay.
But now on the part of being deceased or not, I'm really confused on that one.
Thank you, Christine. Thank you all so much. So you don't think, okay. You do believe that Summer Wells is alive?
Yes.
Okay, let me say this to you, because I always tell my fans this. Think about what you're saying. If she is indeed alive, what would be the risk of walking around with a child that's on an ambulance?
You know, and I've thought about that too. I go back and forth.
It's too risky. Listen, it's too risky if I want to keep her and actually treat her like my child and enroll her in school. You also know how risky that is. I've now got to get ID for her. I've got to show her to the world. How are you going to show her with obvious hair, cut short like a boy? She would stand out like a sore thumb.
Yes, ma'am, you're true.
So then that means I'm keeping her for salacious reasons.
I've been back and forth on it as far as if I think she's alive or not, you know, because I've thought about, like you said, you know, carrying her around, taking her to doctors, schools. I'm just, I don't know.
Oh, Francis, please stop.
And I feel like if she is, you know, if they have killed her, they've either had to bury her, do away with her really well, take her to another state or something, because as far as I know, they have searched quite a bit, right? Up in the
Because the
area.
bank want to repossess the car. Well, they're going to repossess the car. Excuse me, let me cut y'all off. They're only going to repossess your car if you haven't paid your car note, baby.
Right. You're
PJ says
right.
a lot of people in Tennessee have not heard about Summer. Where in
They
Tennessee you
haven't.
haven't heard about her?
They have. I've asked a lot of people about her. I've not seen
Jesus
flyers.
Christ.
You know,
Illinois
if
City,
you
girl.
asked about her,
Girl, you right next door to me. What you mean?
like people that's not online and stuff. If you
Well,
go to
and
a
this is what I
store,
tell people.
convenience store or
And
something.
I'm glad you said that because I tell my fans all the time, don't assume everybody is on the live book 1 and 2. Many people do not go to YouTube. Look,
No,
I know people on Facebook that don't give a damn about YouTube.
I do too.
They don't give a damn
And
about YouTube. You can go to I
and
go to
if you
somebody
don't
right now and
watch
say,
it, then a
yes,
lot of people don't know.
I got a
You
channel.
know.
I don't watch YouTube. They on that
Hmm.
Facebook like crack cocaine. They don't
Yep.
care nothing about no YouTube.
Exactly.
Right. And people don't read. Exactly. People don't read the notifications that come up in the news break, the Google News. There's just people who don't read, period. Such as R. Kelly. That's going to be a very interesting live I'm going to bring you. I'm supposed to have done that tonight with somebody who is an R. Kelly fan. And it would be a man's perspective pertaining to Robert Sylvester Kelly. That should be a live that nobody will ever forget because this person has some very strong opinions. Mr. Crane, he's somewhere out there in America. He wants to give his 211 pertaining to Robert and the trial against him, the state of New York versus R. Kelly. Thank you all so much. Yeah, crack. Facebook is like crack to some people. Oh, she fell off. Her Wi-Fi might be acting up. That's okay. Hit the link. If you want to give your opinion pertaining to what happened to Summer Wells, was she sold? This is my mod's question. That she thinks perhaps she was handed off to somebody. So that leads me to wonder about the clothes that she was seen in that car, which were clothes that was, a bit too hot for summertime. Okay, let's say the child came out of the water. She got a little chill on her. Wouldn't you put her in just the jacket? You wouldn't put her in the pants. Just saying. Crack book. Oh, that's a good one. I love it. The crack book. Hit the link if you want to give your opinion pertaining to if Summer Wells was sold or was she discarded in those clothes? Which is it? Thank you all for joining. Burial clothes. Exactly. Was it burial clothes? Or was she handed off to somebody so she could look nice and neat for her? I don't know the word. Inappropriate. Yes, for summertime, indeed. Even though we knew, naturally there'll be air conditioning in the car. As I state, where are the drying towels? You all never asked that. Where are the drying towels? Where were the drying towels from the quarry? You're going to go in the quarry, get wet, and then put your clothes back on and wet clothes? Then those pictures of somebody thinking that she was wet around the waist in that car pic. Is that water we're looking at in the clothes or blood stains? What did you say? Crystal, don't anybody study you, Crystal. You just fell off. Okay, Lady Tinkerbell, you're in Middle Tennessee. Okay. Welcome to East Tennessee, honey. It's dirty, dirty grimy up here. Okay, don't start. Please don't make no jokes about the baby. Please, I can't deal with it. Yes, it's too hot here for clothes. Let me tell you something. Right now, it is 2 o'clock in East Tennessee. I'm telling you, you go outside that door right now. Baby, it's Smokey J. Smokey J. Candace and Granny were never keen on Summer attached to her. She was too so the dumbest criminals. Well, we will see. I do think it's interesting when I listened to the interview room last night that perhaps Candace was jealous of her child. Perhaps the child did dote on Donald. But what you have to ask yourself is this: if that allegation is true, then that means Candace, you possibly weren't attached to your child That would be the reason why Summer would dote on Robin, Donald, and another outsider, because you did not show your child affection. And perhaps you identify more with your boys because indeed you are boyish in nature. Say, yes, I'm sure it is hot in Kingsport. Yes, Don's worried about Don. Yes. Just hit the link, baby. You can hit it from your computer and or your iPad, laptop, computer, or your phone. Please show your face when you hit the link so everybody can see how nice you look. Thank you. You want to donate to the channel, $ Big Angie 129 Cash App. Thank you so much. Oh Lord, she looks like a book. Okay, Terry. Yay. It's raining here just across the knob. Yes, it's raining here too, baby. Linville, hi, how you doing, baby? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and drop something that I was not supposed to ever mention, but because right now I'm tired of this case, and I'm gonna go ahead and say it. So, oh God, forgive me. Since I got 304 in the room, I'd like to know who is the person that helped clean up the property. You know who you are. Perhaps you didn't think that information was ever going to get out. That was told to me weeks ago, and I'm curious now. Why were you cleaning up Candace's property? Sherry, you're gonna have to show your face, sweetheart. Ooh. Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining me. Robin. What about Robin? Yes, let's pray for the people in California because they really need it right now. The fires, they're just horrible. Thank you all for joining me. Thank you, Nancy. Thank you. What about the Red Barrel was for sale in summer dancing in the rain? Well, so what are you saying? You're curious to where that metal can is? Okay. That was clean. I would hate to see messy. Yes, indeed. Flower child, my heart aches for summer. Oh, Lordy. Hit the link, you guys. 1 hour, 22 minutes in, 311 spectators. Thank you so much for coming over. Thank you, Miss Baby, for sending them over. I've got a guess. Let's see if they're going to show themselves. Sherry, you got to show yourself, Sherry. I have to see who you are, darling. That's the rule. Put a bonnet on. I don't know where the funeral man is. Lee, y'all killing me. What's my opinion? Well, I think she's deceased, but perhaps she could be alive. I don't know. My heart told me she's not. I think only thing that's bothering me is the clothes. That's something about the clothes. There's something about her dressing her in those clothes. Very strange to me. Very, very strange. They might think that by cleaning up they'll get their boys back. No, they're not getting their kids back. They can forget that. Yes, in the beginning, there was rumors about the boys being left behind to clean the house up. Well, I had got personal information that somebody went to the property and cleaned the property up. Now, I don't know the time frame this said information, but then that leads me to believe that somebody in the holler knows them, knew that they drank, got crunk, and cleaned the property up. So that means, did you clean the property up that day? So is it possibly true that the rumors are true about the CPS comment? So see, we don't know what's the truth. That's what's been told to me. Somebody cleaned up the liquor bottles and all that. That was told to me in confidence without mentioning it now. Sherry, Wi-Fi's acting up. Yes, we have to pray for those boys because we don't know what happened to those children in the house. We don't know how they were treated by Candace and Donald. So we have to pray for them. We have to pray that they don't end up in a situation worse than where they came from, such as Cal City boys. They had a terrible upbringing, and then they ended up going into foster care, adopted, and then boom, they go missing from Jacqueline and Giselle West. You can't get any worse than that. So sometimes children going off into foster care is not the best thing because you don't know who you're sending the children to. You're assuming that these people are going to love the kids, treat the kids well, but then we hear the horrific stories that the children went from shitty to shittier. Excuse my language. Was it a church member who picked up? I don't know. I don't know, sweetheart, about who did it. But I'm just saying, I'd like to know why would you be up there cleaning up the property beforehand. So that leads me to think that possibly the property was cleaned up before the police came. So that's why I told you, you don't know what is the truth because the police is never going to tell us what went on that day on that property. Who did what, if the state was called, who took a polygraph test, who passed the test, who failed the test, what was seen on the property, what was taken from the property. You all never asked that. In the 9 weeks almost this story unfolded, not one of you have ever asked what was taken from the property. Thank you for the super chat, baby. You all aren't curious? So what was even retrieved from the property? See, I tell you all, you got to ask the pertinent questions. What was taken? Yes, Homer, yes. Candace said the boys were left. That's what I'm saying. A birdie told me a long time ago, before I ever, and I've never mentioned this because I was told not to say nothing. Somebody helped clean that up. Whatever was left behind that they did not want law officials to see, it was cleaned up. What about cleaning up the broken cylinder block by the fireplace chimney that Don was preparing on the news? I don't know about it. But I do think it was sad watching her jump around in the rain on top of the broken concrete. That just really bothered me because I was like, man, she could cut her feet, uh, slip and fall. It's just crazy to me. Why would you have broken concrete outside? Your child is playing in the rain, jumping up and down. This is just a crazy story to me. Very, very crazy to me. Don said his Canon camera and TV were taken by the police. I don't know, baby. A holler is different in places down there. I think it's a creek. Okay, honey. They took the bedding, phones, and a few other things. Now, Francis, how you know that? Oh, Lord. While y'all cracking jokes in the chat, did they take the damn cleaning supplies? Ooh, say that did. Why were the boys left alone allegedly? Well, we don't know. See, that's another rumor. Were the boys left alone? Then you have to ask yourself, why would I leave my children alone knowing CPS is coming? Would that make any sense? To have my children there if CPS was coming? 2, why would I knock off my child because I thought CPS was coming? Wouldn't that be obvious? Hey, where's your child? Oh, she's missing. Come on now, stay woke. I wouldn't say the boys' room looked clean. I wouldn't go that far to say that. I don't know nothing about the pets up there. Yes, thank you all for joining me. Thank you. Thank you, Chris. Thank you. Hit the link. Well, let me tell you all something. Oopsie daisy. In true crime, you never ask why. You ask why not. You see, a rational mind asks why. Why did he do it? Why did she do it? Why did they put that over there? Why they look like that? Why the house look like that? What's that doing over there? Why is that refrigerator there? Why they went to the quarry? Why they did this? Who drank the tea? Blah, blah, blah. Doesn't matter. What you're supposed to ask is why not? I did it because I could. I got my child missing because I could. I got my child missing because I didn't want her no more. I didn't want the responsibility of her, him, those, them. I wanted out. I checked out. I've been checked out. I don't want to be. And did it ever occur to you all that they are sitting here looking at this chat, saying to themselves, look at these dope making videos about us. They don't know us. They don't know what we've been going through. They don't stand a chance to know what we did with Summer Wells. They won't. They'll never find her. Look at them dodo birds up there making videos about us. You'll never find her. I hid her far off. Catch me if you can. Catch me if you can. Yes, baby mom, indeed. Candace went weeks before ever showing any emotion or tears. 6 weeks, Candace talked on and off to the news, and never once did she shed a tear until she got with the interview room. Pretty sad. Hello,
Hey, boo.
how you doing?
I'm doing okay. I can't be up here long. I got to get back down in the chat.
I got two people downstairs. Got three people downstairs.
Oh, okay. Well, you know, I
Go,
had to give
go,
my
go,
commentary
go.
on this.
For the newcomers that don't know our little jokes over here, him downstairs.
Him downstairs, milk and cookies.
God bless Bernie Mac. God bless Bernie Mac.
Yes.
He's long gone. But that's one of our personal jokes over here. Him downstairs. That's about Bernie Mac making fun of the children. The children. He was asking about where was one of his niece nephews. He was asking the niece where was the nephew, and she was like, him downstairs. So was she sold?
I don't think she was sold.
Okay, run it, run it.
Yeah, I actually think she was done away with and put somewhere. And they've been going along with this lie for the past 9 weeks. Because every day is a new story. And that's why I always type 100 versions of one day. It's no way that one day, 24 hours, has 100 versions. From the 911 all the way up to today, we have got a different version of what allegedly took place that day from all type of characters, from the egg donor, sperm donor, uh the H fella, his mammy, everybody. This has become what I said it would become, like Alabama, a sideshow circus, and it's no longer about Summer. It's about Dunn's past, Candace past, mammy past, grandmammy, grandpappy, who died, inherit. It's like going around in a non-stop circle. It's just one big ball of confusion. This is really a ball of confusion because I've never seen parents of missing children in all the years that I have become acquainted with crime stories. I've never seen the parents, even if they were lying, show out like this. If they said do it for the van, do it for the gram, I've never seen parents show out for social media this type of way, even when they were lying. I've never seen this. I've never seen parents of a missing kid that truly love their child not break they behind and go out there and look for their baby, even if they had to go out there by themselves. I've never seen such foolishness. This is pure foolishness. And people want to know why I say what I say about Dunn and Candace. So first of all, if y'all act this way and she missing, I can only imagine what went on with them kids when they were there. I can only imagine the dysfunctional, the toxic environment that they had to endure with these type of parents. This has nothing to do with rural America. They ain't got nothing to do with white, black, green, or yeah. This has everything to do with people not being mature to have kids. People can be 30 years old and not be ready to have a baby. And it's nothing wrong with not having kids. Sometimes you just should say no. Just like drugs, you should say, nah, this ain't for me. I'm a screwed up person. I'm not going to screw up something else. Because I told people day one, if they lost kids in their past, what made y'all think they were going to be better to these kids? They lost kids in the past. They couldn't do nothing then. That's
For my new
always
subscribers
evident.
and people coming over, they don't know what I look like. I said, let me show myself so these people look like, honey, who is this black lady that we then got sent over here to look at?
This melanated queen.
Hello.
Come on through, queen.
Okay.
But if they lost kids in the past, why do people think they was gonna be better in the future? I could, if y'all looked at that shack, that house was worse than a shotgun house. And I'm in the SIP. I'm in Mississippi. I'm in the SIP. We have shotgun houses. That look worse than a shotgun house. That wouldn't even sit on a plantation. That needs to be destroyed. Cause ain't nobody asked did they have running water, a nice bathroom. Well, we know Summer was down the rabbit chute in the dungeon. Y'all call it what you want. That rabbit chute. When that man went down, every time I think about it, oh my God. And nobody is focusing on Summer. Everybody wants to know about who Dawn slept with, who Candy slept with, who Alice slept with, who H slept with. We don't care about that. That ain't bringing Summer back. Grown people doing all these antics, but they got a missing child. But y'all want to tell me specifically that we don't know him? Hell, I ain't got to know you. I know good and God doggone well. I don't seen enough people of missing children go out there day and night and search for their kids. I've seen it. I've been friends with people of missing children. They never got on social media talking about Pookie, Ray, Quan, Nook, Chuck, none of that. They put up flyers and numbers to give information about where the missing child is. Why do I care about who these people sleep with? Is that bringing Summer back?
Look. This is the reason why the case is where it is. Because you, Allie, you started this. And Don and Candy and H stupidly followed her lead. Nobody would know nothing about none of this. He said, she said, who slept with who, slept with JR.
And nobody ever asked, with all this sleeping around and threesomes and orgies and all this going on, where were the children? Nobody ever asked, like, was they all down there in the rabbit chute in that damn dungeon? Did they have their own separate bedrooms? I mean, like, y'all really need to ask y'all, where was the kids at? For the not judge, don't judge them. Yeah, hell yeah, we judge them. We judge them. Yeah, you put that out there, we gonna look at it and say, what you got going on, girl? Why you ain't went in there and put on a good Brazil and wash your behind? What you got going on?
Hey,
but you give an interview.
Look, I tell you what, she's transforming into a man, but she got some knockers on her, Candy Fly.
Then you got Alice sliding out the chest. She looked like the sister off 1,000-pound sister. She looked just like them sisters, all in one. I'm telling the truth. Let's go and call it. And I do agree with you. Chris should have done those pertinent questions. If you gonna bring up one thing about allegations, bring it all up. When you dance with the devil, go and dance all the way so you can go get it at your sister. Otherwise, we wouldn't be having 20 interviews. Bruh, hey, I want to know, you been touching your daughter. Okay, are you a sex offender? I mean, what you got going on? Why did you have kids if you know you had these proclivities?
Because we're ducking around the subject with talking to Don.
Right.
We're ducking around the subject. At some point, you're going to have to ask him that. Because people are curious.
I'm not waiting to chapter 35 to X. That should have been X day one. If you going to go tell me with the sister now, I don't have that type of time.
Jason 20.
Yeah. You run around there. I understand about being neutral, but if I brought up to somebody, hey, I heard you used to touch children. Do you think I'm gonna leave it like they tell me a little something and I'm through with that? Now I want to know, do you touch your daughter, your sons? I mean, what's going on? You know, you talking about your baby feet, son, and all that. See, what I want to know is, if you getting up and you got a wife, your wife should have been up making breakfast. Why was it you got up and just threw a little cover on her? That don't even make sense. What did you talking about? What is Candace
Yeah,
doing all day?
I saw
She
that
ain't
in the
working or
I saw
whatever.
that in the chat. I saw that in his chat on the show. Interview. Somebody said something about the cover. He said she covered her up. As I state, I have not watched all of that commentary. I was watching it last night. I was trying to, then I dozed off. Seems something about Don Wells makes me go to sleep when I listen to him talk. Go figure.
Yeah, because he a hustler. This is a money grab, a hustler scheme. He can't convince me of nothing. And I'm going to say again what I said about them church visions.
Oh my
Prayer
Lord.
is a
He can
very
tuck them in her
sacred
nappy shorts. Oh,
thing.
y'all are horrible.
Prayer is a sacred thing for people, for believers. So if my baby is missing, I don't need you record me having time with God, and it's a trying time. And when I know people talking about me
Oh
because I'm
Lord.
giving them something to talk about, why can't we just go to the church and have the prayer visual for the people that support me, that believe in God, and do that? We don't have to do that for social media, because to me, it's like you doing it for attention. And then it's always, well, we know the people judging you. Y'all judging them too. Stop that line. It's a devil in every church. Stop that line. They judging them too. Because common sense would tell me, if somebody, whether they're a member or not, is going to the church and every day they giving an interview, but they told me this last Monday, but here today, Wednesday, they telling me something else, something ain't right.
Well, like I said, I'm not here to judge the church. The only issue I had when the child was running around the church. And the second issue I have at this moment, it's not even an issue, it's just a question. What do the church members think of Don and Candace now? That's the only question.
No, I'm not blaming the church. What I'm saying is, what is we recording prayer visuals for every week?
Oh,
You
that.
can
No,
be
I'm just throwing
searching
out,
for your
I'm just throwing
baby.
my comment out on the church situation. I'm not here to bash the church because I don't rock like that. But
Yeah, we
my
don't
thing
bash
is
the church,
just
but
my thing is
y'all,
just what do the church members think of them now with all this rhetoric and rumors and
right.
allegations of sexual assault? You'd have to be thinking about that. There's just no way you could not be thinking about
And with
Hi,
all this touching,
Queen.
that. How you doing, Lakeem?
You
hi.
looked so cute when you was out. I was like, oh, what was that? That was so cute. Your outfit, everything. I promise.
What I got
Hi,
on
Night
now?
Owl. How are you?
You talking about what I have on
Hey,
now?
Lakendra, how you doing?
No, when you was out at the club,
Oh yeah, oh the weekend.
you
Oh
was
honey, the queen was
on one.
You was
girl,
Girl,
the
turning
you
queen
up
was
was
when the
feeling
queen.
herself, honey.
lit. Yeah,
I
but
want to know who was kissing you on the cheek.
I
Oh,
know
I
that
don't know
young
him.
thing.
He
He
goes,
looked like he was like 23.
he and then but
But
then you heard the lady said, "Oh, he's 40 something." I said, "Huh?"
Yeah, that
what?
was on the side of you
He
over
looks good
there
for his age.
behind
Look,
you.
he looks good for his age. He looks really good for his age. No,
He
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 was
showed up.
and
hating.
you see that lady couldn't wait to say, he got a girlfriend, honey. I don't want the
She
man. I
was
just want him to say
hating.
hello in the video. Calm down.
Yeah, that's it. Ain't nobody going home with none of y'all.
Show like the queen. Look, I went alone. I left alone. Shut your mouth.
Okay. With this case, I heard a couple of things that I really didn't like, far as the SA, which I'm not gonna put that on him like that. But the things that he's saying is like, how did anybody notice how he was like, oh yeah, Candy get lit, she smoke at night, if she drink,
Gina, what is
it's
you
gonna
talking
be
about?
she gonna be out. No, Don out of his mouth told Chris that in the interview.
Look at
He
Lisa
be
talking about
passed
East St.
out.
Louis.
So
Ain't
since
nobody
she
coming to
passed
East St.
out at
Louis, girl.
night,
Lisa, you better shut up. Don good last a minute in East St. Louis.
for real. So if you passed out in bed all night, long into the morning, you don't know what he's touching.
I understand.
And your daughter sleep with
I don't know
you.
why Sherry can't join for some reason. She keeps hitting this link. It's not working. Sherry, are you there?
It might be her Wi-Fi.
Yeah, it's because it's circling. It's the Wi-Fi. Yeah. Sherry, your Wi-Fi is acting up. That's why you can't join on. Honey.
But I don't think that he told her.
Okay.
I don't think that. What I really think, to be honest, an accident didn't happen. I don't know if Candace went overboard with her or what happened. It could have been at the lake or wherever, but I believe an accident happened. She called him,
Oh,
and he gonna take care of it, and they covering it up. I think it's some with an accident because I
Okay, so
don't.
you're saying, listen to what you're saying now. I always tell you to think about what you're saying. If indeed there was an accident and he was not on the property, Donald, that means she called him early in the afternoon and he came and disposed of the child and or her, and then they went and played possum somewhere else and made the 911 call. You see what you're saying?
Yeah, I think so. I
Are you
don't think
sure?
none of the boys. I don't think the boys had anything to do with it. Like maybe hurt her by accident. It's Candace. It's something about Candace. I don't know, but I think he like covering up for her, and I think he came and, like you said, took the body and disposed of it. So I'm
Where you
leaning more toward
where?
an accident, but
So
it's
what are you
just an
saying? You're saying there was an
accident.
accident. Listen, you're saying there was an accident. Is that what you're saying?
Uh huh.
What kind of accident?
I don't see her whipping her. I think at the thing she probably almost drowned. She drowned probably. I'm thinking they didn't get her out in time because I
Why was they
think
locked in the house? Well, that's a very good
they
question.
were
But see, that's why I
saying
keep
she
telling
did
you, you
not
really don't
know
know
how
what's
to
going on until you get.
swim.
Huh?
I'm that she didn't know how to swim. So if she didn't know how to swim, why would you be way back there instead of where you are supposed to be swimming? Turn that light, please. Hit that light. Turn it back on. I hate when you do that. I don't think I should. Yeah, but I think I'm giving
Yes,
them the
Kelly.
benefit that it was an accident. I'm just giving them the benefit
Okay.
because I don't. I mean, it happens all the time. But for a mom, like I don't care what my kids do, I could never hurt them to kill them. You know, the people got it in
Edibles.
them.
Y'all killing me.
What night
not
owl think?
what I think they got rid of the girl. It wasn't no accident. See, because this the thing. If it's an accident, call 911. It's a chance she could be revived or uh
Hmm.
get surgery or something. See, accident goes out the window when you cover something up. Cause now
Listen,
you know
turquoise. Let me
something.
say this. Let me say this for the last time in this chat. Please, you all, listen at what I'm saying. Why would I hide my child or kill my child? Because CPS is coming. That will make me more guilty looking.
Oh yeah,
Why
CPS
would
is
I do that
coming.
knowing they're coming? You don't even know if they said they were coming or not. You're listening to something Allie told you. You have no
Yeah,
verification that CPS ever came to that address.
that's what I
Period.
think. No, it wasn't
Period.
CPS.
You're going
And
off
you
of
wouldn't
something
know
Allie
that
said.
they're coming. You would
And
not
why would
know
I
that they're
hide my
coming.
child? Don't you think they're going to ask me where my child is?
And you don't know when
So then
they
I went and
coming.
got
They
my
pop
child
up.
missing, let's say. I killed my child because CPS is coming. You don't think these same people are going to think come on, y'all got to think.
Why kill one child and CPS coming when they got three more boys?
I, I,
Y'all do realize she
y'all
wasn't
don't
the
really be
only
thinking when y'all
child.
ask these questions. You would
That would
make
mean I
yourself,
need to get rid of
I
the rest
you
of them
want to
believe
because
be
they
they
do.
coming.
suspect number one. You are suspect number one if your child is missing the day that CPS said they're coming.
Yep.
Right.
I never knew that CPS tell you they coming. They
Well,
pop
that's
up.
my
They
point.
don't tell
We
you.
don't know if
I
CPS
did.
told them they were coming. We all you
Right.
have is gossip from Allie Mulani saying she called, her mama
And
called.
she
You have no
can't be
verification
trusted.
that those people came to that house. You don't have no
Mhm.
verification they came that day. You don't even know if Don took the kids to work. You don't know if the kids was left there alone, locked in. So if the kids was locked in, we're gonna go there now. How the hell did the Phantom get in and steal the little girl? How the hell the Phantom know she was down in the basement? Stay woke.
Mhm. Yep.
Right.
Stop listening to that gossip. Gossip.
Yeah, that's
Bring a
true.
receipt.
Yeah.
Bring up.
That's what I've been saying since day one. I was like, that make no sense. I'm gonna kill one because CPS coming. It's some more kids here.
Right.
So
Abuse
how
is
would that stop
abuse.
CPS?
Abuse is
How would that?
abuse. Right. So I'm gonna go kill this kid. I'm gonna leave the other kids behind to open the door for CPS.
Do you
Right.
think
Gotta think.
Candy left the property?
Right. Well, Flower Child, you're right. Ask Don. He has your answer. Indeed. Calling Donna Wells. Calling Donna Wells.
She likes to talk.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he does. As John Q would
Mhm.
say,
Oh Lord, it take John to do that.
ah. John Q. When John Q do
Oh.
that, ooh, that's I know damn well Donna Wells he want to cuss John Q out like
it
you don't quit making fun of me.
Cause John be
it
cut up
sounds
when he
just
do that.
like he looked.
Ah, y'all killing me.
Oh, Don, did you go to
I'm
work that
dead.
day?
I'm so dead. I'm telling you, when John Q does
Oh.
that, I want to spray. Uh, uh, uh.
But I'm like you, two night owl too. If it's an accident, one thing I'd rather get an accident charge for neglect, something happened besides murder.
Then
That's
cover my
another
baby
thing.
up.
That's a
Yeah, because it's still
long
abuse.
thing.
It's still abuse of a corpse if you covered it up. If you buried her and it was an accident, you still can be charged with
Mhm.
abuse of a corpse.
And that's the same exact time as like murder. That's what they've been handing out.
Well, yeah, that's
Yeah.
why I say I don't think it's no accident. Why would I have to cover up an accident? It was an accident, and once you do an autopsy, if it comes to that, it can prove whether or not it was an
Well,
accident.
see, the reason why some people say they would have buried her because of an accident not out is because of the lifestyle that they live. And naturally, you see how they're living back in that holler. Now imagine the
Yeah.
police come to investigate an accident and they're looking at how you live. Then your past is going to come into question because they're going to start digging to see if you got a criminal record. All that stuff about Donna Wells is what's going to come out. You understand?
Think about it before you do it.
Well,
Have your life in
And what
order
was
before you
that
when
have
did
they had
children.
it?
anybody in a true crime story really thought about
I
what they
know.
were going to do?
And
It
what
I
was
just
the
didn't
know. I
happen.
was
animals
just
they
throwing that
had
out
in
there.
the house? Do you know what
When
the
that
animals was that was inside the house?
when that
Say
man
what?
said, "This is Paw Patrol."
It was an animal, and then she picked it up, but it wasn't no cat or dog inside the house.
What are you saying?
The animals.
What about it?
They had animals inside the house too.
Okay, but what is your point?
The animals could have got her.
You know, Lakenda, go to bed, please.
I am.
What animal drug her in 40 pounds?
The dog. I'm trying to give them a leeway. Like, man, I'm tired of people
Why?
killing their
Why?
kids.
Why? Why are you
I'm
doing
tired of
that?
people killing their kids. Like, man.
When we were
Uh,
in the group before
who
we
do I
came
have?
over,
Miss, is this Yorkie Elvers? Is that correct?
Yorkie lovers, yeah.
Oh,
I
Yorkie
have,
Lovers, where are you calling me from?
what did you say?
Where are you calling me from?
Oh, I'm from Salt Lake,
Who?
Utah.
Utah.
Utah. I'm from Don Wales country. Um, anyway, Jose is back in Utah, and Don
Hmm.
Don has been back twice. I think that
Wait,
she.
slow down, Yorkie. Because you're moving too fast. You got
Okay,
to slow
sweetie,
down.
sorry.
First of
Sorry.
all,
I don't talk half as fast as you do, lady.
well, that's okay, honey.
Mhm.
But you got to slow it down so we can understand where you're getting the information from, because they're going to ask
Okay,
you that. Where you getting the
okay,
information from?
because I live in Utah, and he's been known to be back home. He's
Okay,
been
I'm
home.
asking you one question.
Okay,
Did you
Are
see?
you in the town where Don is from?
I am like 15 miles away from Don.
Do you know Don Wells?
Hell no.
Go ahead.
But anyway, he came back to see his dad again. There is a land dispute. His dad's 85, and he's supposed to inherit his dad's home. Um, and his sisters are fighting him for it. And so, I mean, who should the house really go to? It should be going to the sex abused daughters, for God's sakes. But anyway, he's made 2 trips back to Salt Lake
So I'm gonna
since.
ask you this: when did Don return to Salt Lake or the
Oh,
area?
he just left here about a week and a half ago again. He was
And
spotted.
how do you know this?
He was spotted. It was on the news.
Well, we ain't heard nothing down Chim.
Well, I don't hear all the shit that goes on down there in Tennessee.
Oh, wait a minute!
Wait,
Oh,
whoa,
you
wait.
getting a little jitty,
Hey.
ain't you?
I mean, I didn't even know what a holler was till tonight.
Well, I don't. None of us.
Oh, it's a southern thing.
So wait a minute. Listen to me. Okay, just listen to what you're saying. You mean to tell me your local news is saying Don Wells was spotted up there, and we live down here with a child missing, and we ain't heard that he been back there.
Yeah, he drove down. He went down through the states on the East Coast, and then in through Texas, and then cut up Highway 84 back up to Salt Lake. Yes, he did.
Wow.
And Jose and him, if you look it up, Jose and him both have their parents' homes, but Jose only lives 7 miles from him. But I think that they
You mean
brought
right now?
Well, no, here in Utah, because Don's back in Tennessee.
Oh no, but what I'm saying is that information that person brought on their channel. See, I don't know what that time frame is of the 7 miles. That could have been 7 miles 5 years ago. 7 miles.
Oh, it's current.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's current. It's current. 7 miles currently. Now, I think they brought her back here. I think that Grandpa's got her here in Utah. I mean, I commented in the comments that Mormons here in Utah have 10 kids, for God's sakes. And she would blend in and it would just be another kid. I mean, I'm telling you the God's honest truth. Mormons were raised to replenish the earth, and they do just that. And I think that if she's up there in Ogden, I think that, except that haircut, that's a dead giveaway, for God's sakes.
Well, I guess she'll be wearing a turban.
She may, and go on as a cancer victim. She easily could do that. But yeah, that head shave.
So now I'm going to ask this. And I don't know if you can answer or not. What was he doing back there?
His folks live here.
I know his folks live there, but these are the same people that allegedly they're saying he didn't want his son talking to when he took him there last year. Did you hear that?
Yeah. And his dad wants to give him the house like he did the property in Tennessee. And so was back here arguing that he wants his house that's rightfully his. But, I will have a whole different viewpoint on this. I think that it should go to the abused sisters, for God's sakes. He shouldn't get jack squat. I mean, come up here.
Well, let me ask you about my title. Do you believe the child's alive or dead?
What?
Is the child alive or dead?
I think she's alive. I think they're hiding her.
Why would they be hiding her, ma'am?
I think that he's bailing because he wants to come back to Utah. And I think he's bailing, and that was his way of getting her home. I think she probably did have a head accident when she was in the back seat on that milk jug, but I think he hauled her off home here.
Okay, I don't understand what you're saying. He's been seen around Tennessee after the child went missing, so how would he have been able to take her?
I think she's with Grandpa here in Salt Lake.
You don't think they would not be watching the grandfather's house?
I don't know, because I don't know. Because like I told you, and if you know any history about Utah, you know that Mormons replenish the earth. So I don't know if she'd just blend in. I don't know.
I'm just curious.
I'm one, so I don't know.
But what do you think? Do you think that they've killed her?
My first instinct, just from stats, yes, she was dead. But the only problem I have with that is the clothing of her in the backseat of the car. Why would she have those long sleeve shirt and pants on in the dead of summer? That makes no sense to me. So the clothes
I
is what's
thought
bothering
about
me.
that too.
The clothes is bothering me.
Yeah,
The
and you
clothes
have
is either rules to hide what happened to her to get her transported dead, or they handed her off to somebody and put her in new clothes to the new people who were taken. There's
yeah,
something. There's
Yeah.
something with the clothes.
yeah. Well, you
Wasn't there
have
something, a friend that worked at a funeral home or something they think is involved?
That's rumor and that's rhetoric. That's because people think he's weird. But I tell people don't say bad stuff about people like that just because he seems quirky. Because we got enough gossip. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I
Going on about
believe,
people, and that wouldn't be
yeah.
fair to him. We
well,
don't know
you
anything bad about
Okay.
the flute guy.
that
I
long
think he was
sleeve
doing a
shirt.
good deed, and he
Yeah,
just
I mean,
weird.
I played the damn flute and I quit playing it when the damn instructor was spitting in my flute. So there you go. I won't here. Take the flute back. I don't want
Right.
Well,
Right.
it. In the fifth grade.
I
Right.
I don't want the flute.
I subscribe to your channel, so I will watch the news more
Yes,
and
please.
see what they say, and then I'll
Okay,
come.
we're gonna give you a channel to watch. WJHL News 11. It gives most of the commentary pertaining to something.
Is that your news channel?
That's a local station up in the holler, up the neck way.
You was gonna say up in the holler, wasn't you?
I just said.
Papa,
Listen,
come warm my coffee up. This
Yeah,
I
is
don't think the
Coffee
child's alive.
Anonymous.
Nancy thinks I don't know what Nancy thinks.
well, that's one state I've always wanted to go to and never have been.
Well, it's a cheap state. That's why people move here.
I
It
love
look
it here.
it looks
It's cheap.
gorgeous. It
It's
looks
cheap, huh?
gorgeous. It looks gorgeous.
It's a beautiful place. It's a great place to
It,
get knocked off too and be found missing.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what the Equa
Echo
Uh,
search.
church
Yeah.
said. So we're
I'm
one of the
telling you
worst.
right now, let me tell you something, and I'm gonna be honest with you. Right
Okay.
now, I could go out this door, show you where I
Shit, girl,
live,
you're
and there could be a dead body right feet from me, and you wouldn't even know until you smell it.
From the trees.
And the
But when they
brush.
get your number, they get your number.
So you have what kind of trees are those
Excuse me.
What I'm
things?
trying to explain to you, sweetheart, is that we have nothing but trees, grass, and brush around us. So people can
Yep.
easily just take you and throw you out, push you in there,
What I said
and walk
is,
away. Nobody's going to find you until somebody comes out walking the dog or kid rode a ball. You see where I'm going? Or
Yeah,
the wildlife starts chewing on you and pull a foot up out of that.
yeah.
But you can be in plain
here's the
sight.
mess.
And when you look at where they live, she could be right in front of you. You won't know. It's too
Oh,
much to look and search for.
right.
She
yeah,
could be in North Carolina. North Carolina is right next door. She could be in Virginia. It's right
The
next
first
door.
one,
Oh,
It
so
would be
you're
nothing to drive 1 hour over and not drop her off in the woods in Bristol, Virginia, somewhere over there, North Carolina. She could be right in any of those places. She could be right near the house, but you're not going to know because you can't see. It's vast.
so you're on the west side of the state.
I'm in East Tennessee. I am just up the highway.
yeah.
They are above me. I can go hour and drive to Rock.
Oh,
We have quite a few queries here too. So
Mhm.
We have family that lives.
Yeah, Rogersville is nowhere from me.
yeah.
And
well,
I'm
it
telling you,
look,
you can
it looks,
get gone right in bull's eye view.
You can
And
mention
I'm
that
telling you,
first.
I could walk out this door right now and show you what it's like living here. A person could be lying in the grass. You got to remember, she's small. She could just been thrown in the bush and be laying there. You're not going to know until you smell it.
yeah. I heard this morning because I couldn't sleep, so I got up and had a cigarette and turned the TV on, and I saw that Miss Robin, her Sunday school teacher, had commented that they thought that she might have alcohol fetal syndrome.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah.
What do you think?
So Well, she doesn't talk,
It wouldn't be hard to
you
hide.
know.
We had
I,
Well,
70
Robin
foot
says a
by
lot.
foot by 4 foot
did she?
sheetrock.
She doesn't talk a lot, but she will
No,
let you know what she thinks. So that does mean she can talk.
Yeah.
But I think perhaps what I was trying to remember is I think somebody said that maybe something about the psychic said something about Lucky, said Yucky, and Don said, "Oh, the dog Lucky." I think
Yeah.
perhaps she doesn't have good grammar
Yeah.
Kind of like a speech impediment or
impediment,
can't.
yes, or
Yeah.
yes, or she wasn't taught how to fully,
not
pronounce
articulate.
Yeah.
words.
There's certain letters that she.
Yeah, she's not as articulate as some people.
Yes, that's what I think. Because at 5 years old, I think you should be able to pronounce the word Lucky.
Yeah.
Well, I work for DCFS and here in Utah. And last year I was in the elevator going up to the courthouse and I had my wool coat on, because we get colder than hell here in Utah.
Yes.
And
Yeah, no
I
doubt.
do therapy dogs, and the therapy dogs work with the kids that have been SA'd. And a woman was in the elevator with me, and you could tell she was a tweaker. She had the tweaker zits, and I'm standing on the other side of the elevator, and I have my Yorkie. That's why I'm Yorkie lovers. Yorkie is a therapy dog, and she's telling the little girl not to tell the district attorney when they get in there that she had seen the boyfriend's bum and showered with him. Well, when I got in the court, I took off my wool coat and there's all my badges, that I'm official.
Mhm.
So I had to go tell the district attorney what I overheard in the
Okay. So, what is your position in the Department
elevator.
of Human Services?
I work with the children that have been, I talk with them and they tell me secrets or the dog secrets. Then I talk to the district attorney before they go into the court.
WJHL is the news station.
And it's really sad. I saw a girl last year, 16. Her dad had been abusing her stepdad for 5 years, and her mother kept slapping the shit out of her, not believing her. And she was the most beautiful black girl I had ever seen. She was like model perfect. And that poor girl hung onto my Yorkie just bawling. Well, we get into the courtroom, and they're usually supposed to hand the dog back to me. And she would not let go of that dog. She was telling the dog, Oliver, my Yorkie, what happened to her. She wasn't telling the judge or the attorney. She was telling my dog what happened to her. And it broke my heart.
Because the dog doesn't judge.
Yeah.
That was one I cried after she got done saying her stuff. I got my dog and left. I cried all the way home.
Okay. So you say you work with Department of Human Services. I'm sure people are curious to what
Yes.
you do exactly.
Yes. Well, actually, we can call it the guardian ad litem.
So what do you say? You're an advocate?
GAL, guardian ad litem. Excuse me.
Okay. Is that like an advocacy program, ma'am?
Advocacy. Well, I don't know if you want to call it that because, well, I guess you could call it that.
Well, somebody's curious of who's in your background. They hear somebody talking.
That's one of my Yorkies. I have 5 Yorkies.
That dog talk like a man?
Well, he's trying to, I guess. I don't know what the hell he's doing. I don't have a man here. I've been a widow. I'm a widow.
Well, somebody hears a man or somebody talking. Lord, that's a mean dog if he can talk.
That's a Yorkie.
I can't do this. Y'all killing me.
That's not her, Angela.
That's a Yorkie growling with another one.
Samantha, I think that's Samantha talking to somebody. That's not
Samantha, you got company at your house?
Yeah, I'm a widow. Nobody's here but me and the Yorks.
Samantha.
She frozen.
I'm dead.
Yeah, that's her. That because LaKendra was muted as well, and everybody kept saying mute her, mute her, and yeah, that was me.
Everybody want to know who is the man in the background. I can't deal with y'all. Please, y'all killing me.
Don was in the chat room. Don was in. Don was
in. Did y'all ever?
AD.
Do you know of any times that have y'all went out when they stayed in Utah?
I didn't understand you. What?
You work for DCFS, so I was wondering, was there any cases in Utah they had?
Cases.
You know she couldn't speak of that if she know that. You know she couldn't tell that.
Oh, cases like who? Dawn?
Yes.
No. No, Don would have been through the court system before I started working, before I transferred over into there. No, I never had the honor to meet the perv.
Oh my God! Somebody said Don Wells. Anna Maria, please stop. Y'all.
Oh, I leave there so pissed sometimes. I hate them. But then I work with cancer kids the rest of the week, kids with cancer. So I see two different spectrums. So I see kids fighting cancer that a lot of them die. And then I work with the courts, and then I hate them. I hate their guts.
Okay.
So, and I can't believe how mothers that get charged for it too. I mean, it has amazed me in the last 10 years that I've seen mothers charged with it also. Mothers are protectors, and I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot, and then you're sworn to silence, when you go through all your classes and stuff, you're sworn to silence.
Well, that's what I was trying to tell Kenny. If you knew something, you could tell it no way.
Yeah, you can't say jack shit. No. But Don was with us in chat. He followed us over when we left AB, because what's his name had to get some sleep. I think he smoked too much weed, and he needed some sleep. So he says, "Well, go raid her room." So all of us came over, and Don was with us.
How you know Don was in that chat?
Because he joined us. He signed in with us.
And what name did he use?
What
name did he use?
Don Wells.
And you believe that?
Absolutely.
It could be anybody.
There's no way in the world you should believe that, Don.
Oh, well, he was in the chat with Mr. and Mrs. Cher, and he's become their friends if you want to stalk him. It's Mr. and Mrs. Cher, and Cher is spelled Cher. And he hangs out with them. They're tweakers, and he hangs out with them. So we know where Don is.
Lord have mercy. The Twilight Zone.
Yeah, you can follow him on that channel.
But I would believe we would have knew if he made a trip to
Really, I don't
Utah.
have no problems. I ain't following Don Wells nowhere. Only where I follow Don Wells, you can tell me where that damn baby is. I follow you that.
Well, that's all you need to do. You don't even need to say anything. Just listen to his shit. He bashes Chris McDonough, the detective.
Yeah, well, see, that's another thing. Why does Chris keep talking to him? See, that don't make no sense. What is the point?
Well,
Where's
Chris
he going?
did that.
He's going around in circles now.
Chris did that interview, and Don went, and the third part aired tonight. And
yeah, I watched part of it.
Yeah, Don Wells is mad.
Well, see, that's Don's stupid self.
You
just cussed the man out 2 weeks ago, and yet you keep going back and forth with him, back and forth. Stop talking to Chris. Stop talking to him.
Well, is he still living there?
Living where?
Is Chris still in Tennessee, him and his wife?
Oh, I don't know. I have no idea.
I mean, God, they've been there for long. They've been there for long. They've been there for a long time.
Say what, not out?
Ladybug wanted to know who was on the panel, and I was like, "It's me." And she was like, "No, it ain't you. You in the chat." I know I'm in the chat. I know.
Tell her you can be upstairs and downstairs.
Exactly. Christine, we didn't say Chris wasn't a good man. I'm gonna say it again. When you want to dance with the devil, you dance all the way or don't dance at all. We want to know why questions off limit. How about that?
Somebody asked how long have they been living at that address? I don't know, baby.
See, I don't know. They've been there for a couple months. See, he was supposed to go back and check on that girl in San Diego, that Maya Malede that's been missing.
What? Oh.
But he's been hanging in Tennessee for a couple months. How long's it been since she's been gone? 60 something days?
9 weeks coming up 15.
Yeah, and he loaded up his Airstream and headed back there.
I mean, no, it's a month 15, but we're over that already. We're at 9. I think we're at 9 weeks now. I think this week.
Yeah.
And if she was talking on the phone, so he could, just be anywhere.
Yeah, he could be, but he keeps talking about restaurants that he's ate at in Tennessee,
Mm-hmm.
good barbecue places.
Mm-hmm.
So is it humid there?
Very,
So a body would decompose really
very
fast.
fast. So you should know if Candace, excuse me, they, whomever, discarded her outside, she's no longer. Oh,
Yeah. Well, something's going on with Dawn because I noticed
back, Kay.
yesterday she was at the church vigil and he wasn't, so something's going on because he was the one at first that was going and now she's going alone. So I don't know
Well,
if she's outside and they have offed her. I mean, she's out there gonna find now her bones, right? Because you have
yeah,
severe
about 2 months. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because of
severe
the heat and the
severe wild
wildlife.
animals. Yeah. You really have bears?
Yes.
Oh my
They even
God.
knock on your door sometimes when they get hungry.
No, be serious with me.
I am serious.
You have
What?
bears. I mean, I don't know. We have bears I live at the mouth of the canyon where you ski. We have
Yes,
bears.
our
California
bears.
got bears.
We have bears
Listen,
in the
the
mountains.
bears
But,
will come down. They're messing with their habitat.
oh,
When
gotcha.
you build, you're messing with the bear's habitat.
Yeah, that's why we have mountain lions down in our valley.
So we do have bears that come down the mountain and they walk by and ask you, would you please give them a hamburger?
Oh my God. Do you have mountain lions?
I don't know. We had one about a year or two ago. They saw up that way, going
We
towards
got those.
East Tennessee.
Yeah,
Some type of tiger, something. I don't know what that was.
yeah, and we have a
Bear
lot of
spray.
rattlesnakes because we're in a severe drought. So we have
Yeah.
rattlesnakes.
Oh my God.
What you say? Chris McDonald said he found a poor child's body in a tree once. In a tree.
A what?
A tree.
My God.
Who found that?
Yes, we do have coyotes too. Yes, we do have those. I think I
We
saw
have
one of
those.
those in the last place where I was living, and I looked down the road where he was more close to where my apartment was, and I was visiting another elderly neighbor, and I looked, and I said, "Man, I gotta walk in the back of this building." I said, "That don't look like no dog." And somebody said, "That ain't no dog."
Oh my
Yeah.
So I had to walk in the front of
Uh-huh.
the building. I was scared to death. I said, "Lord, big girl gonna have to run up these steps.
Them knees gonna get to working that day.
It's gonna be a
Yes,
sight
we
trying to
have
climb 2
wild
flights of
animals.
stairs." Huh?
Tigers, bears, big cats, all that's back there in the woods. We don't normally go in the woods to get them.
Yes, bears are very smart. They can open doors. They
Yeah.
can climb balconies. They've done that here in East Tennessee and Gatlinburg. People come home to their cabins and the balcony was trash was thrown. They thought maybe somebody tried to break in. It's a bear. He climbed up there. He was hungry.
Oh my God.
Bears,
Well,
I've
we
seen a
got
bear
bats.
open a car door and reach in and grab a bag of food out of it. I've seen it on TV. Bears are very smart.
Are they brown bears?
Brown, black, white, green, yellow,
It
all
was a
of them.
bear,
Black.
baby.
Well, we have brown, black, and grizzly here.
Hey, once the bear opens the door, I don't care what his color is.
Well,
Raccoons, all of it. Foxes, deer, the whole
Yes,
shebang. We
and
got
the
all
raccoons
that.
are mean too.
Mm-hmm.
A raccoon
Skunks,
can pull a
all
lid
that.
off a garbage can. Oh, we got some mean raccoons, baby. They gangster here in Tennessee. Shut your mouth.
yeah, I know.
Armadillos, all that.
You have
Thank you, sir.
armadillos?
I ain't
Yeah.
seen no armadillo.
Yeah.
Well,
I see them all the time. Turtles.
Equisearch was more worried about the copperheads. Copperheads? Is that what you call them?
Right.
Snakes?
Sandra's right. So
Snake.
lock your doors if you come here. This is true. This is true.
Yeah.
So
And we don't have those here.
That's why you don't feed the animals. They tell you that. Don't ever feed animals.
Mm.
don't feed them. Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm 2 hours and 19 minutes.
So
So
how
what's
far
the
away are
so
you from Nashville?
a little over 3 hours?
Huh. I've always wanted to go there. Only got a layover. Didn't get off
It's
the
beautiful.
airplane.
It's beautiful here. Why people come
Uh-huh.
here? For the mountains, east Tennessee rather. The mountains, here. Why
So you
people
have
move here.
the
The weather's
Smoky
nice.
Mountain.
You never know what the weather's going to be like. It could be 70 degrees, 75 in December. Just depends on what day the Lord wants to give us warm weather. It's a great place to relax. It's low key. It's laid back. It's not the most popular place for entertainment in this region, but it's cheaper living.
Oh, so housing's cheap.
Well, it's a little cheaper. It's a little cheaper than most places in America.
Yeah. And see, here to buy just a normal house, like a 3-bedroom house, is like $500,000.
Yeah, no.
Huh. So it is cheaper.
You got a $500,000 house in Tennessee, you're doing real good.
Mhm.
I don't know what I'm gonna do. My son's trying to get me to move on the East Coast, and I said, Nate,
Yeah,
I
it's
don't know
expensive on the East
anybody on
Coast.
the East Coast.
Mm.
And he says he lives in Puerto Rico, and he says, well, Mom, you won't move to Puerto Rico, so if you moved on the East Coast, it'd be easier for me to fly to you. And I said, hell, I don't know anybody there. What I
Oh,
do?
okay. Okay,
Start
Christine.
start door knocking and say,
Oh,
hi, I'm
Lord, Francis
Sherry
talking about
from,
flying cockroaches. You know what, Francis? Get off my live.
yeah,
Get
flying
off my.
Yes,
cockroaches.
flying cockroaches, all that. We got all that down here. All that. Every animal you think of.
Oh my God, and we
Where
don't.
Y'all are
you at,
crazy.
All of
Night
them.
Owl? Mississippi?
Yes.
Well, I'll be going down, Christine. I'll be doing some traveling here in probably another week. So I'm going to be going a lot of places, hopefully.
You coming to
Safe
Vegas?
travels,
I see. I've got somebody mention that to me. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
I'm only
It was
6 hours away from
thunderstorming
I
Vegas.
want to
today,
come.
but it was hot.
I want to come to Vegas.
Oh, what? Not out. Would you? Would you go back to Mississippi?
What?
I see. I'm froze up there on the screen.
She
Yeah,
gonna
you
act a
might be.
fool. She come to
Yeah.
Vegas. Oh my
Yes,
God.
I'm in the SIP. Yes, but I want to
Yeah,
travel to Vegas.
I'm only
Okay.
6 hours away from Vegas,
Oh, okay. Sounds good.
but it's hotter than
I'm
hell
not
there
trying
right
to
now.
go down
Well,
that
everywhere I
way.
think it's pretty hot right now. I think most places in the United States is very cool.
Arizona or Utah. A lot of people moving to Arizona because it's so cheap, I heard, but
Mm, I
No,
didn't
for
know.
the
no,
job.
we got all the Californians moving here.
Because they opened that big old Amazon office.
Well, we got a big ass Amazon thing just down around the point of the mountain here in Utah, in Salt
Mm.
Lake.
Oh.
Yep.
Well, so the consensus is what? The
The
child is
what?
alive or the child is deceased?
I would
What'd you
say
say?
deceased.
Okay.
I,
Deceased.
Yorkie, before you check out, what is she, alive or deceased?
I'm gonna watch the news more. I'm gonna watch and see if he's back in Utah with his daddy. He disappears. Haven't you noticed that he disappears?
I
Well, I
say
haven't been
deceased.
watching him, so that may be a problem for me. I don't watch Donald.
And the next thing I know, I hear Don Wells has been in Ogden visiting his father. And I'll think, son of a bitch, get the perv out of here.
Yorkie.
Get him out of here.
Ooh, y'all
I like
killing me.
to, yeah, get him out of here.
Well, we will see what happens. All I can tell you is to stay tuned to WJHL. That's one of the news sources up in that area if you want to get an update pertaining to the child or disappearance.
Where at?
WJHL. I don't know. My screen is not moving for some reason.
Never heard of it.
It's a news station, dear.
WJHL.
JHL. Yeah. What's wrong with my screen? It's frozen for some reason.
Is it that
I
black?
can hear you.
Is
Yeah,
it that?
because I hear you're answering me, but for some reason it looked like it was frozen. Oh, and now it's moving.
Mhm.
Now it's very strange. Okay. Okay. Well, who's next to hit the link before I check out of here? I'm 2 hours and 23 minutes in. I'm gonna end this shortly. But this was a mod question
W
pertaining to if the child was sold, not sold.
W
And I brought you
W.
all commentary pertaining
Oh,
to
I'm
the
sorry.
situation.
I seen that say that, but I didn't realize because I had jumped on late.
Yorkie, you stepping down?
Yeah, I am, sweetie.
Okay, I'll
W
step you
H
out then.
W
Thanks for
H
joining.
K L.
WJHL, sweetheart.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome, honey. Bye
Talk
bye.
soon. Bye.
Okay.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. Okay, Lakendra, you said all you need to say, dear.
Yeah, pretty much. I think she's deceased.
Not Al. She's deceased.
Yeah, I think she's deceased.
Okay.
And I believe they're going to find her. It's not going to go on and linger like the boys have. I believe they're going to find her,
Thank you, Christine.
hopefully soon. Y'all have a great night. Thanks for
Okay, honey.
letting
Thank
me
you.
up.
Have a good
Hope
one.
you get the feeling better.
I will.
Okay.
I'm feeling better. I had a good day today.
Okay,
So
good. Good.
thank you.
You're
Bye
welcome,
bye.
sweetheart. Bye bye. Let's look at it. Okay. So uh this was Nancy's commentary, basically thinking that perhaps the child was given to somebody for salacious reasons. We're entitled to your opinion, because in the end, we do not know what is the truth pertaining to the disappearance of Summer Wells. The one thing I tried to get you all to understand is that everything that you've heard pertaining to Summer Wells is rumor. There has not been one thing basically proven about Summer Wells and what happened on June 15th. You don't know anything. You don't know what happened at the quarry. You don't know who all was there. You don't know who talked to whom when the child was dropped off, boy H. They're bickering back and forth about that. So that should tell you something right there. You don't know what you've been listening to. You don't know what is the truth pertaining to the child. Because if you have people arguing about where they went on that day, who went to the car, didn't go to the car. I didn't speak to her. Yes, I did. No, I didn't. That should tell you everything. What is there to bicker about? Because truth needs no explanation. Nothing about June 15th has a receipt. Only law enforcement knows who went where, what's in the phone documentation, GPS in the cars, and they're never going to tell us. Did DHS have a file open on the family? Did DHS go to that house that day? Were they already investigating them for child abuse, child neglect? Never know, because they're never going to tell you. DHS is definitely not going to tell you. So you will be sitting here wondering in December if DHS was involved in these people's lives, if calls had been made on this family. Why did they remove the boy? Why did the child have on long sleeve clothes that day? Was she dead or alive in the backseat of that car? Was she discarded before she went home? Did she ever make it home? Where was she? Are we even talking about June 15th or before? The red Tacoma truck, where is it? Is it relevant? Not relevant. Who cleaned up the property allegedly? Are we now talking about other people knowing something wasn't right? See what goes on. You'll never know. And you can talk to Don Wells to get blue in the face. The only thing you can gather at this point is that something is suspect with his commentary. He is a narcissist, possible sociopath. Everything is about he. He has thrown his wife under the bus. He has bragged extensively about his relationship with his child. He has also made the conversation seem salacious between he and his daughter. And then we ought to also believe that possibly may have been touching his child and or children due to allegations against him by former relatives. You also have to ask yourself, what role does his family play in aiding him to be possible perpetrator? This lady says he's been back to Utah. I have no information to support that. No information to support Donald Wells traveling back and forth. Then one would have to ask himself, what would he be doing in Utah when one, his child is missing, his children are gone, and he has a wife remaining? So why not take your wife with you? Or did he take his wife? What is the truth? But then you look at the fact that Candace is doing prayer vigils, then one would say, well, what is the truth? Where is Summer Wells? Is she alive or she deceased? Is she in the hands of somebody that cares? Or was she pawned off, loaned off, sold off? Or Donald Wells and Candace Bly know where to find Summer Wells. I think we know that. We don't have to keep shucking and driving about who's involved in this person, Summer Wells. We know damn well. And although the interview room has talked to him and you're getting a lot of information, dissection, analysis of what he has said, not said, the one thing Donald Wells hasn't told you is where to find the damn baby. So what is he going to tell now? You see, this is a dangerous game they're playing with Donald Wells. You see, because when you climb into the belly of the beast, you have to be willing to accept what's in the belly of the beast. And sometimes when you climb out of the belly of the beast, if you even get to climb out, you may be taking remnants. Don't ever think you won't come out unscathed by climbing in the belly of the beast. So that's what Chris going to do. No matter what your motives are for talking to Don and his wife. If we got to quote the scripture, the Bible says, not to sit at the table. Yep. You want to donate to the channel. $ began 129 cash. Thank you all for joining me. Thanks to all who came over to listen to the content. Thank you for those who have subscribed to the channel. I'm now at 7,400 subscribers. God is good. Highly favored. Amen. Thank you all so much. This is a troublesome story. I just got a feeling it's not going to be in the favor of someone else. That's the horrific part of the story. And I pray that we will not be still talking about her come September. That's going to be the horrific part of the story. No sight, no body, still listening to rumors and rhetoric, still no update, still no body, still no silence, still no information, still no confirmation of a suspect, just more rumors to chop up and dissect on Facebook and the YT. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you all. Thank you for joining me.